Okay, hello everybody. Thanks for coming tonight. Pretty excited for this stream. Um, so we're going to do a couple Ramona calls tonight, and I have a special guest with me who is Tiffany Lockhart. Are you still there?
Hi.
Hi. Good day, good day, good day, guys. Okay.
We don't do that over here.
Now, you do drive on the wrong side of the road, though.
I don't.
Oh, so you you drive on the opposite side to everybody else, so you cause a lot of
Yeah,
a lot of accidents.
absolutely.
So how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
Oh, just fine. Very excited.
Good.
This is really cool to be able to stream with you, so thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for asking.
Of course. Let's see who all is here first. So we have James Sanders, Tiffany Rose, Cornville Counselor, Moo-Tang, Leakers, Evil Twin, Il Reeg, Asbury Brad, Jose Argueta, Cyber Squeak Wersh, Sadface09, Jeff W, Carrot Gaming, Mam Yes Mam, Hey Boo, Jeff W, Tracy Hamill, who else is here? Kathy Mack, Killdeer, Craigo, what's up, man? Evil Old McNuggets, hello, my loathe. Upgrade, Rachel D. Leaguers, Evil Twin, Il Reeg, Anthony R, Mandy S, Allison K. I'm so happy you made it, Allison. Witchetty Man, Gorilla Face Gwen, what's up, Bogan? Aaron Housey, More Crap for Putdowns, Nickelmit, Page Master, Zachary Stanford, Ricardo Mercedes, and I think yeah, I think that's it for right now. So if I missed you, yell at Tiffany because it's her fault.
That's fine.
So yeah, so I wanted to, when we talked about what we wanted to do, I have recently, I never really liked Ramona that much. Not necessarily her. I just didn't like her calls because Lorne really treated her badly, and she really never stood up for herself. At least the character, Lorne would just continuously talk over her, so I would get too mad to listen to her calls. But tonight, we're going to be listening to a few calls where Ramona really stands up to Lorne, and it's very great.
Okay.
So, do you enjoy Ramona calls?
I do. I do enjoy Ramona calls.
Any calls that aren't you, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always going to be cringe to listen to yourself. You don't want to really do. I mean, it feels really weird.
Right.
You're just kind of like, oh, why did I say that? That was so stupid. Or
It's
I
fun.
should have said something different.
Right.
So,
No. Yeah. Especially me. Like, if I'll ever just listen back to a stream just to see what I said, I'm always fumbling over my words and stuff, and I'm like, you sound like such an idiot. So it's great. It's great, listening to yourself. At least I don't sound like that fuckhead Cornville three-way. So
that is true. Yeah.
So the first one we're gonna listen to tonight is Ramona confronts Lorne, and this is where she confronts Lorne regarding Michelle Simpson. So I think I've heard this one once before, which is why I think I knew that she really kind of gives it to him the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But then after, we're going to listen to the breakup call. So I'm very excited to listen to that.
All right.
Okay, so is there anything else, or should we get started?
No, I think, well, first we have to say hi to Molly.
Oh, that's right. Oh, thank you. I completely forgot. See, you have me off my game. I'm just so nervous.
Right.
You reminded me. Just before that, I want to thank Evil McNuggets. She collaborated with me for the stream art. So she drew Debbie and Lorne in the classic Star Wars pose. And then I finished it with the rest of the poster. So that was really great to do it with Evil McNuggets. But other than that, yes, the pet of the stream is none other than another TSA dog, Molly.
Yes.
And what's funny, when I was asking people if there's any questions that they would want me to ask you, a lot of people were like, can she say anything about her dogs? So
Yeah.
if anybody hasn't seen before, Mickey was featured on a couple weeks ago. So we've had 2 out of, at least right now, 3 of the TSA dogs. So maybe Cassie will be featured in the next few weeks.
Yeah, yeah, there's also Cassie. So I have two Chihuahuas and Molly here, who is a Shar mix.
I actually have their pictures right here. Maybe I could just throw it up.
Sure.
Okay, let's see. I know I have Mickey's in here because he was in before. Oh, there he is. And there's Cassie. Okay. Yeah, so here
Yeah,
are...
Mickey's really sweet. He's so cute. Cassie is cute as well, but she definitely has the Chihuahua personality. So she will probably want to kill anything and everything that comes near her. So she's good with these dogs for the most part. I have had other dogs before them as well, who have since passed. And so she definitely was a little attacker. So she's not one to bring to a dog park or anything. And as a matter of fact, if anybody comes over, I have to hold her because I don't trust her.
And which one was this?
That's Cassie.
Cassie, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you had switched to Molly for a second.
Yeah, no, Molly's very sweet too. She's a big doofy baby, so she is scared of everything, including the wind.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's too windy, she'll stand behind me with her tail behind her legs.
Oh, she looks sweet.
She's got a really, really loud bark,
mm-hmm.
but she's definitely a scaredy cat.
So these are the only three you have right now?
These are the only three I have right now. So I did have other dogs too. I originally had 5. There were 5 TSA dogs, but they had since passed. Yeah. So Ginger was a Cocker Spaniel mix. She's the one I think you can hear barking. And then I had Susie, who was a poodle.
And the Molly name for Molly, that is just a sheer coincidence, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. She's 15 years old. So,
have you had her that long?
No, definitely.
Like,
I had, yeah. It's estimated that she was probably around maybe a year or 2. They weren't quite sure.
But she was pretty young when you got her, though.
She was very young. Yeah, she was left in a parking lot.
So you've had her for way over a decade, then.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yep, all of them were found somewhere. So they ended up finding me.
Yeah, so they're all rescues.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Zachary, Ahsoka's my favorite character, so that's cool that your cat's name's Ahsoka. Yeah, that. So you're kind of one of the people that, if you see an animal, you want to take them. Like, you kind of have to restrain yourself.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I was never looking for a dog whenever I would find them. So Molly was found by somebody in a parking lot, and they were looking for a home for her. So I ended up taking her. But the others, I happened to go to the pet store, PetSmart, to pick up something, and they would have there's a shelter around here that will go around and have adoptions. And every time I go in there, I've gotten a dog. So
you can't go there anymore.
Can't go there anymore. Yeah. So I did have the 5 of them. But they had, Ginger was actually my grandmother's dog. So when my grandmother passed, I inherited her. But yeah, I saw that somebody had asked which dog burped at me. That made me laugh.
Oh yeah.
During that one call, that was Ginger. She was a burper.
The abortion call.
Yes, exactly.
I didn't know if you wanted to say it, so I thought I would.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure. I'm not good with the titles at all.
Oh.
So yeah, it's hard to remember all of them. But yeah, that was her.
Oh,
so
you've probably forgotten more about Lornography than most of us would ever know.
Yeah, probably because people will ask questions about particular calls or when did this happen, and usually my answer is kind of I don't know, or if I do have an answer, it's usually wrong. So if there is a question about a call that comes up during a stream, usually I'll throw it out to the chat and somebody else will know more than me.
Yeah, I guess it's more so kind of what you specifically remember sort of saying that I guess that you would know very well, but like in just other calls, because you haven't listened to every call. Have you, like,
No,
were
I
you
think that's impossible to do.
right? At least the ones that are available right now. But you,
Hmm.
when you were playing Casey and Debbie, when you weren't
Hmm.
needed, were you ever just on the call listening as like maybe Emma played Casey with her kid voice, or did you ever listen to Lorne just talking to Winnie, but you know didn't come in as Debbie at all? Did that ever happen?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hmm. I
Yeah,
guess.
so I would listen, like for example, Rhoda's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
So that I was at work, so that's why Debbie didn't make an appearance. But I was listening, and it was hilarious.
Oh man, I don't know how you. Oh man, especially to listen to like that stuff at work. I mean, I have, and you know, I have to have like my phone turned upside down because if somebody walks by, usually the art that's on the screen is like way too hard to explain.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Especially back then. I mean, now I am fortunate to be able to work from home.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, ever since the pandemic, actually 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
almost exactly, is when I started working from home. But um, prior to then, it definitely had to be really careful, especially if I was in Skype where the chats would be happening because there could be a wiener popping up at any moment. Because as soon as he would send, you know, a text or pictures and stuff, they would fit in there. So I had to be really, really careful.
Yeah, that's not good. Speaking of wiener pics, they somebody had just sent me a copy of the old dump with all of his birthday suit pictures. And
Oh
I was
yeah.
just curious. So I went through the rows and just counted the rows. As of
Hmm.
right now, in that dump, there are over 400, you know, dink pics, which is insane to
Yeah.
me. Like that he would take that many pictures. Like,
He would send pictures every day.
oh, multiple times a day. It'd be his
Multiple
wake up.
times a day,
Yeah.
every day. Yeah, it was the same thing. You know, and they're all the same. Nobody was really all that interested unless it was something particularly funny
Hmm.
or, you know, there would be something in the background. But a lot of times, you know, you just kind of just look past it like, okay, here we go. Throw that in the file and then that's it.
Yeah, it has to be one of those rare ones where he has like a noodle on his dick or something. You're like, wow, you know, how inventive,
Oh,
Lauren.
yeah, exactly. Or if he's taking a shot of him, you know, in the kitchen or somewhere where you can see the background to be like, holy shit, look at all that trash on the ground or something like that. That would stick out. But, you know, if it's the run of the mill dick pic, nobody cared.
No.
So it was just like his voicemails for singing.
Yes.
Typically, we didn't really listen to them all the way through. I know when they came in, if he left one for Debbie, I would just kind of skip through and see, okay, is he talking? Is he talking? And then I would go to the end to see when he would get cut off because that was always funny.
Oh yeah, he's belting in the car and it's just done, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And Edamame is asking, has anyone ever recognized me? No, they haven't. I would drop dead
I was gonna say
immediately.
that would be your worst nightmare, I would assume,
That would be insane.
because
That would be insane if somebody did.
because we've talked about that before, and you had said that, you know, because that means that you would have been talking in public, which means you probably would have been with friends or family. So to then have somebody approach you and be like, "Are you Tiffany?"
Yeah. Yeah, or I mean, if they would just say something that's Lorne related somehow, like I weren't going to bring you any pizza or, you know, something like that. Even if it wasn't directly at me, if I heard that, it's one of those things where I think there's so many phrases that people can say that you would immediately pick up, and you would just be looking at them like, what are you, what are you trying to do here? Yeah, I think I know you. So that would be really, really crazy.
Yeah, oh man, I couldn't. I mean, even, you know, if somebody listened to my stream and in public were like, "Are you Winnie boyfriend / husband?" I'd be like, "No, what's that?"
Yeah,
Just
no.
just
What do you
walk
mean?
on by. Tiffany? Who's Tiffany?
No, I would have to be really careful. Yeah.
My name's Debbie.
Yeah.
Just keep walking.
Right, exactly. And then they'll be like, okay, I know you. Your voice is way too distinct.
yeah.
I'd be like, okay, well, if they said that, then I would know for sure.
Yeah, you couldn't get, it wouldn't be as easy as with Lorne to slip by that your voice sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah, so crazy. Yeah.
Hey, Witchard and Dylan Buchanan. And I guess Edamame, I didn't say hi to you. Anthony R. So, sorry guys, I probably won't be able to see everybody in chat because I don't have it up. But, alright, so should we jump into the call?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go. Hopefully you can hear this. You should be able to.
Okay, we'll give it a shot.
But I'll be working on my truck and all that stuff. It's going to be a white truck. Yeah, I know. It's a bummer.
So you can hear that, right?
I can.
Okay, great.
Give me a wet truck.
White truck. Again, this is Ramona confronts Lorne, if anybody's wondering.
Okay. What were you saying?
Can you hear me better?
Yeah. No, but okay.
Okay.
So what were you saying?
I freaked out a little about the doctor because he's right there. I don't have anybody right here.
No. Don't talk about the doctor. Don't talk about the doctor. Talk about the girl Michelle. What happened?
From what I remember, he tries to go into like 60 vortexes this call. Like anytime Michelle is brought up, it's just deflect. Like,
oh, 100%. That's always what it's going to be. If you're confronting him with something, he's going to do everything that he can to divert the conversation elsewhere. Most of the time back at you.
Exactly, right.
But there's other times where he can go off on something that doesn't make sense. But yeah, it's total deflection no matter what. He does not want to talk about this.
Not one bit, no.
Yeah.
You can make it all kinds of comments. Huh?
You basically tried to set up sex with her and what, she didn't show up?
No, she showed up. She said I didn't show up, and I didn't.
That's a lie. He did show up, right? As far as you can remember?
As far as I remember from this particular call, I think that he does say that he went there, right?
Well, he just said he didn't.
Right, but I think that changes, maybe.
Right. As Lorne, especially in the MySpace Molly call, he'll say a lie, and then you just have to keep, like, chipping away, and then eventually, he'll be like, fine, I went there, and, then get mad that you made him tell you that, and then it's your fault. Like, that's, I guess, another one of his tactics.
Right. Definitely.
So, but you had a sexually charged discussion with someone else on the internet?
No, I didn't have a sexual. It wasn't really a sexual discussion. She just continuously said shit. And
what did I ask you on Monday?
Tired for talking sexually. Huh?
What did I ask you on Monday?
I don't remember.
I asked you if you'd ever talked to her.
And
Ramona, Lorne has a 3-year tape delay, so if it was on Monday, there's no way he'll remember.
No.
I said no.
So I guess you've broken.
Because I wasn't ready to answer that question yet. Because I wanted to tell you about
Wasn't ready to answer.
So I'm supposed to believe that if I had never said anything, you would have just randomly one day told me.
Yep.
Bullshit.
No, 100%. If she never brought it up, he'd be so happy. Like, he would never bring it up.
No. That's why when you hear him talking to Michelle Simpson or Kate, there's always the thing about, well, I have a girlfriend, but she doesn't need to know.
No, and what's funny is Cornville and I did a stream last night where we listened to the hospital calls when Lorne cheats on with Winnie, who he believes to be Debbie. Obviously, it's revealed to be Rhoda. And in the call, after it happens, he's talking to Debbie, and he's trying to ascertain if Debbie has told Winnie yet. Because he wants to make sure, like, he's acting like, oh, have you told her yet, like, in conversation, but he wants to know if he needs to come up with something to then tell Winnie later. And Debbie's like, no, I didn't tell her yet. And so that's music to Lorne's ears, to be like, okay, great, I can continue to play both sides of the fence here.
Right.
And that's one thing I wanted to ask you, if you remember. So he's told that the phone sex in the hospital was Rhoda, but was it said that she was using a voice changer, or because that call we listened to, it's clearly you talking to him afterwards.
Okay.
And how would Debbie know all that happened if it wasn't Debbie? Do you remember like how that was explained away, or if it was ever brought up? No. I
have no idea, to be honest.
I guess it's just something Lorne just overlooked. Like,
it could have been. I honestly don't remember. I don't remember that conversation. I remember something happening where it was actually going to be Rhoda that did it, but I'm not sure if there was a voice changer involved.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where a normal human being would be like, well, that doesn't make any sense. But I guess to Lorne, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And that was 3 years ago. So I would be shocked if you did remember.
I hope I didn't say anything too gross.
Oh, no, you didn't. No,
okay, good.
You were just talking with him afterwards. He's the one that said something gross that, Debbie was fingering herself with Dan on the phone or some bullshit. But that's all Lorne. You were a good girl.
I was respectable.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good.
And I'm really supposed to believe that? I think the only reason you're telling me now is because there might be something out there about it. I don't know, but I think there must be something out there about it, which is why you're telling me now.
Yeah. All right, let me tell you something.
What?
Let me read an email to you.
What?
I'm going to read an email to you.
Okay. But, aside from this email that you're about to read, I think that there must be something out there regarding you and Michelle Simpson, or should I say Michelle Simpson Armstrong, that you...
Hey, Joey.
Assume that I will find, and so that's why you're kind of telling me the light version of this.
No, she tried to put a conversation that I had with her. She tried to put that on YouTube. YouTube took it down.
I like how Lorne thinks that YouTube gives a shit and took it down for his benefit.
Right. If you don't like what's up on YouTube, you can have it taken down.
Right.
Yeah. So I just wanted to answer Joey's question.
Don't.
I think it's a good one.
Let's just move on. Just don't answer Joey's question.
No, I'm going to answer Joey's question. This is my stream. He says, Lorne doesn't understand anything anyone says. Do you think Lorne has a hearing problem, or do you think his brain just can't process human language properly? So I think it's both. He has said that he does have a hearing difficulty where he doesn't recognize voices. I remember hearing that, and I just remember laughing really hard, not because, somebody having a hearing problem is funny, but because he said that he doesn't recognize his voice unless he's singing.
What?
Yeah,
What?
Basically what happened was he left. Oh no, I'm sorry. Winnie played his own voicemail back to him. So he was hearing it and he was like, "Who is that?" And it was him. And he was infuriated that he was hearing another guy. So that's how that came about, where it was like, well, how do you not know that's not you? Or that is you? And he was talking about how he doesn't recognize it unless He's singing. So whatever that means. But I also do think that he doesn't understand what you're saying either. I think there's a lot of miscommunication that goes on, especially when it comes from probation, his therapist. He takes a message that he wants to hear, and that's what he runs with. So I think it'll go in his ear. It gets jumbled all around, and then he can say it back to you, but it's definitely not what you just said. So a lot of the things, like, for example, when probation moved him to a different class, they said it was because they wanted to see him in a face-to-face relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Or they changed providers. You know, there's a different reason for him not passing, but the reality is he's not passing the class. They're not moving him around and going through the trouble of transferring him to a different class or, you know, telling to stop and start over again. It's not just because of these really stupid reasons that he says. It's because he's not passing. Or there's the other thing too, where the whole Allie thing, why she went away. And there's I think
Did you know that Allie was so beautiful?
She's perfect.
She's perfect.
But she's married.
Yes.
I do remember that. And I do believe that Lorne is going to think that, because that's how he sees women. They're either going to be like his mom and be an elderly person, you know, who's just nurturing, like his Aunt Sharon, and they're there to take care of you like a mom, but then also other women who are there to be supportive or even just look at him. Then he's in love. So when it comes to Allie, she went away because he wasn't progressing at all in therapy. I mean, I think that's clear.
100%.
He spent his time talking about Ramona. He, you know, was talking about how he learned so much and all that kind of stuff. But he's never changed. There's no change at all that's going to come out of Lorne.
No.
So, you know, and he was saying too that Allie didn't want his therapy to stop, and but I think that it's based on her answers to probation about how Lorne's doing and how's he progressing. You know, because if you're not progressing, then they have to stop it at some point.
Right, because I think that you're wasting resources at that point.
It's a waste of resources. Yeah, it's just not working. You know, I don't agree that he should have been removed completely. I think he does need to talk to somebody. I think there does need to be an extra person there, even if it's just to listen to his bullshit like Allie did, and try to not get through to him, because he can't. That's impossible. But to keep tabs on him, to have a closer look at what he's doing, aside from, you know, the check-ins that probation will have with him. You know, when he had to talk to Maria, it wasn't very often. It was, I don't know if it was every couple weeks or once a month or something. And then, of course, he would go to his class, but that's very limited. It's in a group setting, and they're talking specifically about the assignment at hand. And there's other people there, too, that have to talk. So I think it would be really important to have somebody there with Lorne who is equipped to deal with somebody like him, because he is a handful.
Yeah, there's really nobody like Lorne. You know,
I've certainly never met them. I hope I never do.
No, that would be a very bad thing. That would be, you know, you get into a car accident, and of course the person who crashed into you is a Lorne. I'm sure that would probably be the worst thing ever. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, that house moved in his way. You know, he didn't crash into that house.
Right.
Piggyback off you were saying, my favorite thing about where he doesn't listen to what somebody's saying is when he's crying. It might be the Bud Light polygraph one, but I think it's when he's talking to Emma about how Maria said, he's like, she said she doesn't expect me to be perfect, and that was so awesome. It's not really what she said. What I'm sure happened is Lorne started crying because he failed, And she said, like how normal people say, I don't expect you to be perfect, but he doesn't hear the but and everything after. He just hears,
no, he doesn't.
He just hears Maria doesn't expect him to be perfect, so that means that he's allowed to bend the rules a little bit, because that's what, a non-perfect person would do.
And that's also something, that he's hearing that says, it's okay, Lorne. Nobody expects you to be perfect. There's nobody perfect. So he hears that as, that's okay. That's kind of like a comforting sort of a thing. But that goes along with how he misinterprets things that are said to him. It's a joke. I can't, and also, I don't want to be with you, Lorne. I know you do. That's the thing that's going to follow.
Or, yeah, give me a chance. We had feelings before. So you
absolutely.
You can never change your mind. Once you've said something, it's set in stone for life.
It is.
Right, Cornville Freeway. He doesn't say the word but. He doesn't hear the word but because he doesn't recognize the word with the T on the end. But.
No. Well, I mean, I think one of the great examples that we have that was able to be witnessed firsthand was when he was in court. And the judge goes through this amazing monologue with so many great pieces of advice for Lorne. Here's how you need to get out of this. You need to move forward with your life. Here's how that can happen. You need to forget about the internet. You need to forget about trying to combat the people on the internet. You're not going to win. Just leave it behind. You don't belong there. And then Lorne gets up there and he starts to cry and says he wants to do his cooking show. And Shin saw it in all of its glory. I can't imagine how that must have been.
I wish I could have been there.
It must have been so funny to just see that. What?
And just how he starts. The judge cuts him off. Lorne's like, well, what about? And then you just see in the transcript, Judge Wilcock just cuts him off. He's like, no, you don't do anything. Stay away from it. And he still doesn't hear it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's great.
Here a couple people came in. The guy, Amy A. Ramirez, Cam Fogel, Dragonwords, Witcher, Guru, Dr. Cassie, Lawrence Empty Beer Can, Anna Rourke, Sheffrey, Medium Syllables, and the Great Shins Koala. How you guys doing?
That doesn't mean she can't put it back.
They'll just take it down again.
The question is, would they take it down before I found it?
What, you've seen it?
No, I'm saying, would they take it if they put it up? Would they take it down before I find it?
Probably.
YouTube is not.
You're not on the internet all the time, are you?
YouTube is not sitting there waiting for her to post it.
You're not on the internet all the time, are you?
What does my internet usage have to do with you having a sexually charged conversation with Michelle Simpson?
Because if you're on the internet all the time, you might, if she tried to put it up again, maybe you'd be able to catch it.
And so, maybe I catch it, and then what?
Yeah.
Mandy S., I thought I said hi to you in the beginning of the stream, but if not, you get a second one. Hi, Mandy S. Now quit your bitching.
Wow.
Sorry, that Debbie energy is just, it's just flowing through me now.
All right.
Do you?
I'm not interested in the email because I'm really not interested in the email. You don't have to read it.
Oh, that's right. His whole deflection is he got an email from somebody saying everything's not real.
Right.
And he just keeps going back to that. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that you...
This is from a lady that is telling me things.
Why am I interested in an email when I'm discussing this with you in regards to a girl who you have?
Because she says the girlfriend is also a cat. Because she says your girlfriend is also a catfish who was most likely getting information on. They did not give a name, but it seems to be someone who has shared this with a couple of people, but not the group in general. Given everything else going on, this statement is highly credible. Until you meet her and spend several days together, you might want to consider what you choose to share with her.
Okay, and what does that mean?
She's talking about you.
Okay, well, a lot of people have talked about me.
I want to know if what she's saying is true.
Lorne, see, this is what you're doing. You're doing something that a friend of mine does. What you're doing is you're being confronted about something that you did, and now you're trying to turn it around on me and say, well, you did this, or...
No, I didn't. I told you I was straight. I told you I was straight in what I did.
And so now I'm trying to understand why.
Anyway, I just wouldn't weren't ready to tell you at the time.
Lorne, let me say...
Could you imagine a partner saying that to you? Like, if my wife would be like, well, I weren't ready to tell you at the time, like about cheating or talking to somebody. You'd be like, go fuck yourself. Like,
right. Right. Well, I mean, and especially because the only reason why they're going to be telling you is because they're busted.
Right. He weren't ready to tell her because he didn't have to yet because she didn't know.
Right. Even if that didn't happen 5 minutes later, she was going to tell you. She was just about to tell you.
Right. They always tell you just as you're about, right after you bust them. They're like, I was just coming to tell you.
Yeah, right.
Hey, TCAP Theater, J.R. Davis and Dan Jones.
I will never believe, Lorne, listen to me.
And I just realized I was saying weren't and wasn't incorrect there because Lorne has rubbed off on me so much. Like, I have to send very professional emails to attorneys' offices at work, and I have to, triple check to make sure that I didn't use the wrong one. Because Lorne has just, like a worm, is just, seeded into my brain.
Yeah.
But, hey, Bobby Gump, nice to see you here. Battle of Silent Rick, ADD.
Listen to me, let me save you some breath. I will never believe that you were going to just come to me one day and say, yeah, I had a sexually charged conversation with Michelle. I will never believe that.
Nope.
I will never believe that, because unless there was something out there that you did not want me to see that's on the internet, and it must be something out there that you think that I'm going to find that you think that I'm going to find that's on the internet.
No, because I told you I would never lied.
But Lorne, you did lie. You're saying that you haven't lied since.
But he's telling you the truth now, Ramona, so he didn't lie. He just neglected to inform you of the truth until now. It's not, it's different.
Yeah, either he's going to lie to you directly by making up a story, or he's going to lie by omission by not telling you.
Do you think, Lorne knows he's lying sometimes, or he's just so used to it, it just what happens? Is it...
No, I think he knows.
He knows?
Yeah.
Well, I guess what I was just trying to... I guess it's a different thing. What I was trying to ask is how he believes his own bullshit. So it's kind of like he lies for so long, about not going to see Michelle Simpson, that it eventually becomes the truth to him. I mean, because he knows he's lying outright that he didn't go there. But eventually, if he says it so many times, he seems like the type of person that would then believe his own bullshit.
Well, we hear the mac and cheese story. Right, you can hear how that comes out. It's recited almost the same way every single time. So I think that there are things that he does convince himself to be true.
Yeah, what did they... It's in one of his probation letters where it's he breaks into his very well-rehearsed speech on TCAP and NBC or something. They even know. Yeah. He's done it so many times to them. Yeah. They're we've heard this before.
They have heard it so many times. Yeah. Whenever he gets mad, that's when he starts to go off on all of that stuff. I love that well-rehearsed tirade. That needs to be a screen name.
Oh, yes. Please, somebody do it. Please. Hey, Bud Roscoe. Private Dink in Cozanton. How you doing?
Yeah, but I want ready to tell you Monday.
But Lorne, a lie is a lie, regardless of why you did it or what you were ready for or not. I asked you last week, or I'm not last week. I asked you on Monday, had you ever had a sexually charged conversation with Michelle? Have you ever talked to her? I asked you those two questions. You said no. That is a lie. Do you understand how this whole lie thing works? I'm not sure your definition of it, but a lie is basically when...
I understand. I'm not stupid.
Okay, so then why are you talking this bullshit about you haven't lied since you were 11?
And, them little white lies. And that was something that I didn't...
Lorne, it doesn't matter what color they are. They're lies. I mean, you can color them white, pink, purple, sky blue. It's still a lie. And you are very stressed out right now.
Yeah, I am.
Everything in your life is falling apart. I think... Are you crying?
Yes.
That's in this call?
Can we hear that again?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll probably hear it 5 times. Just, I didn't know it was in this call, because I say that a bunch. Like, if I'm driving, I'll be like, Lorne, are you crying? Yes! Like, the way his voice peaks up is great. All right, let's go back.
White, pink, purple, sky blue, it's still a lie. And you are very stressed out right now.
Yeah, I am.
Everything in your life is falling apart. I think... Are you crying?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Do you know how to spell that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess it would be like lowercase, like YEE, and then uppercase, like AAS. Like, yes.
It's actually YEYIS, like yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody showed that to me once. It's really funny, and I do it all the time.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you watch Sunny in Philadelphia?
I have watched it.
If whoever else has watched it, in the episode when it's the 1770s and they're pretending to be British, and it's like, you have to be like, yes, flourish the pinky. Like, that's what it reminds me of. Instead of just going,
gotcha.
yes.
Right.
YEYIS. Okay, I'm using that from now on.
Okay.
And, hey, Craigo, thanks for coming, man. Have a nice night. And,
yeah. See ya.
Hey, Catchy, Winnie Stapler's Dark Atheist and Doopy's Fashion Consultant.
Because everything is fucked up right now.
Lorne,
I don't want me and you being fucked up. I just want to know that you're real with me, man.
Lorne, you're real with me. You're the one who's having a sexually charged conversation.
It's because she wouldn't start saying shit in the comment section. Now you're tired of it, so I knew what she was doing.
But you couldn't
She's
block
not the first one to do that.
Ember? You couldn't block her like you said you blocked Ember? Lorne, let me tell you something. I'm going to be bold and I'm going to be brazen with you. Okay? I'm a lot smarter than you are. And what you're telling me... listen, what you're telling me right now does not have... What?
Don't even start thinking I'm stupid.
Did I say you're stupid?
Everybody seems to think they're a lot smarter than me. It's awful funny how everybody else thinks they turn around and do stupid shit to other people.
Lorne.
Do you think you're smarter than Lorne?
Of course I do.
What? He
There's
has
some
more,
people who say I'm not, like clever.
he has more brains than you're ever gonna fucking realize.
Right,
There's a great
exactly.
call where he's arguing with Dan, and he's like, Dan, don't think you're smarter than me. And Dan goes, yeah, I know I am. And then Lorne goes, yeah, I know you are. It's like, well, that's not what you
I
said.
know. I know.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
it's easy to spin him around too. He does that all the time. Like he'll say something, he'll say, "No, you're wrong," and he'll say, "Yeah, I know."
Oh, no,
I know.
that just happened. Cornville streamed before us, and in that call, you're talking to him, and you ask him, do you know what Kim Kardashian is doing? And he goes, no. And you said, she's getting people out of prison, and he goes, yeah, I know. Like, he just said no.
Right.
Like, he can't not know something.
Lorne, you have a girlfriend, and yet, Lorne, listen to me. Okay, listen to this. Okay, you have a
I'll BRB. I'm gonna keep it playing though. Just be a minute.
Okay.
girlfriend who lives hundreds of miles away from you, in a different part of the country, and yet you can't cheat on her and have her not find out. You can't do that? Like, I mean, but yet
I'm not going to.
you're not going to what?
I'm not going to cheat on you. I never have. I never
You're having sexual charge conversations with women online and inviting them to your house, and you expect that, and you're saying
I didn't show up to meet her.
you had a sexually charged conversation with her, and she
Because I knew where she was going.
So unlike blocking her like you did with Ember and Betsy and other people who you've told me that you blocked, unlike doing that, you decided to have a sexually charged phone conversation with her. Lorne, again.
I didn't have a sexually charged phone conversation
Lorne,
with her.
again, come on,
You don't want to talk sex to her.
Lorne, let's not spin this. Let's not spin the details of this. I live hundreds and hundreds of miles away, and that's my alarm.
All right, I'm back. I hope nobody gave Cybersqueak any candy while I was gone.
Oh no.
Hundreds and hundreds of miles
They try to pull that shit when we leave, and they ask for candy. So
I see.
away from you, and yet you can't manage to have this rendezvous in a way that I don't find out. Really? And who knows if you've done it before and with people who I will never find out about. But the fact is that I found out about this one.
And the fact is, we've never done it before.
You've never done it.
You can say you don't.
But Lorne,
You can say that, how can you believe me and all that stuff? I believe me, and
he just said, "I believe me." Yeah, of course, Lorne.
Right.
never done it.
Lorne, but how do I know that's the case when you sit here having?
Because I would have told you.
But Lorne,
Eventually I would have told
tell
you.
me, and you had some kind of stipulation about when you wanted to do it and all this other stuff.
Well, I wasn't going to wait very long before I did do it. I knew that.
Lorne.
So I wasn't ready to tell you then.
Lorne, so I'm supposed to believe that you randomly one day would have said, oh yeah, let me tell you, I had a sexually charged conversation with Michelle. Something that you knew could end our relationship. You decided that you would tell me one day and risk ruining the relation and risk causing the end of the relationship because you. I mean, Lorne, are you hearing that? What reason do I have to believe that you would have done that, and what reason would you have had to do that?
Because you're the only thing that's been honest with me.
Okay, that doesn't mean you're going to be honest with me.
I want you to know.
Say again?
I want to be honest with you, and I want you to know. You know what I did.
But you, quote, weren't ready to tell me about it, and so...
I wasn't ready to tell you on Monday.
You know,
it
it's
was
fun.
Monday. Monday was the big day.
Yeah, when I first listened to this, I thought he was caught like weeks later. Now, obviously, I understand that it's like a scenario that's made up, so they always knew that it happened. But I thought they were waiting to see when Lorne would tell Ramona.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that it was like 3 days ago, like from this call. He couldn't even make it 3 days.
No.
I had my job on my mind on Monday.
I got a job interview on Monday.
So when did this conversation take place? Because that's something that I assume would be I assume is probably out there. If conversations about this is out there, then I assume that if conversations about this is out there, then I assume that as well as conversations, the time stamp of when this happened is out there. So this could have been 2 months ago, this could have been a month ago, this could have been 3 months ago, and so I'm supposed to believe that something that happened 2 months ago, 2 full months ago, you were going to tell me one day. What?
It was last week.
Oh, it happened last week.
Yes. Told you I wasn't wait long to tell you things. And Monday certainly wasn't the day for me to tell you anything.
Say again?
Crap. Monday certainly wasn't the day for me to tell you anything. My mind wasn't there to be able to tell you anything.
I need you to speak louder because I cannot hear
you. On my dog.
I mean, that must be hell to try to talk to Lorne on the phone when it sounds like this. Like, I don't know how you did it. Like, it's just a potato he has. And also,
yeah, there was plenty of times when he wouldn't have good reception because of where he is.
And then he would get like mad at you or whoever he's talking to that he has bad reception. He'd be like, "Oh God, stop!" You know. Ugh.
Right, because if you're telling him to repeat or you don't want to talk to him right now because it's bad, then yeah, he's not happy.
I need you to speak louder and stop mumbling because I cannot hear you.
I said I told you I wasn't going to wait long to tell you anything. Monday was not the day for me to tell you because I had the job on my mind. And my truck. And fucking every other fucking thing around the corner.
And so I guess once everything was fixed and once you became this millionaire or something, that...
Yeah, far from a fucking millionaire.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. That you were just going to one day tell me something that could cause me to break up with you.
I had to.
Lorne.
You didn't want to keep anything from me.
Oh, you're going to have to rename Molly Millie now because Shin's misspelled it.
Well, her full name is Molly Ann Jones.
Molly Ann Jones.
Yeah. Just because.
Well, it's Millie Ann Jones now.
No. She's not Millie. She's Molly. Molly Ann.
I've never kept anything from you that I didn't want to start.
Which it's interesting enough because you still talk about Paula, the girl who cheated on you when you were how old?
Paula!
Yeah, when I was 25.
What?
When I was 25.
So you were 25. And
When I was 5. And that still hurts me today.
Paula cheating on you still hurts you?
Yeah, because I gave her all my trucks.
And you
Never
were ready to cheat on somebody
saw
else?
that company.
They weren't together, right? Like,
They were never together.
you can't cheat on somebody. Like, Tiffany, if you go out tomorrow night, you're cheating on me.
Yeah.
Like, that makes total sense.
Yeah, he did admit that they were never in a relationship, but they were working toward one. So, and also in his mind, they were in one. So he was treating her as if she was his girlfriend. But of course,
So abusing her?
I don't know that there was necessary abuse like the way that we've heard him do that.
Mm-hmm.
But certainly she would have gotten a lot of attention, like Nikki got a lot of attention.
Oh, all the time. He would try to go over there, or when she was over, he'd sit next to her or whatever.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ready to cheat on you. I wasn't going down there. I knew what she was doing.
Well,
I wasn't going to meet her.
Well, see, what's interesting is that and if you knew what she was doing, then why wouldn't you tell me to get me in on the laughing game? You know, hey, this girl thinks that I'm going to meet her for sex. I'm not going to. Let me tell you what's been said. But,
Because you're already starting.
But you're cutting out what?
Uh-huh.
Because you're already starting to concern about.
Oh, so someone who you say that your girlfriend was concerned about, you decided to take off the internet rather than blocking her. Rather than blocking her, like you did with your supposed former best friend, who you say that you never tried to sleep with or hook up with, Emma, and your...
I never tried to hook up with her. She's fucking married. Just a kid.
And your...
What she's doing. So she can't even think straight of what she's doing. What she did.
But you had no problems blocking her, but someone who you say that your girlfriend was threatened by, you decided to take off the internet and start talking to her.
I was wrong in doing that, and I know it. And I wanted you to know what I did. I didn't want to keep it from you.
Well, Lorne, I am a little bit annoyed at you right now. And because I'm annoyed, I'm going to let the truth come out.
Just truth.
I don't think you're going to make any money off that community. I really don't.
I wonder, because Lorne's YouTube channel is monetized. So he technically is, even though I'm sure he's not getting that money.
No.
Because he can't log into that, right?
He hasn't been able to log into that for years. I don't know that. Well, he was able to at first because obviously he was commenting and doing all of that. But at some point, he wasn't able to log in anymore. So I don't know if his password was changed, because that has happened. Remember when Winnie changed his password or his
voicemail
his code
in
for his voicemail? Yeah, that's exactly. And then it was
Emma,
Spanish.
call me back. Winnie changed my fucking voicemail into Spanish. I can't change it back.
Yeah, exactly. So she would do stuff like that. So it's possible that his account was changed and he doesn't know how to get it back. Especially if somebody else had control of the email as well. They could have just changed everything. Because the way that Lorne is, I'm sure that he was not the only one who had the password to that channel.
Oh, no. I mean, he's not the only one that knows his fucking social security number.
Well, exactly. That's exactly it. So I'm sure that he had it.
Speaking of which, you haven't given us yours yet.
You're right.
I guess
haven't.
We're just not that close.
We're not close at all. No, I'm. Yeah, it's going to take forever in order for that to happen.
So about another 2 weeks?
No, literally forever.
Why aren't you
Till the
giving
end of
us a
time.
chance?
Nope, there would be no chances. No, there would be
A
no
couple
chances.
people buying your voice, but I don't think people are going to buy T-shirts. I don't think people are going to buy songs. I don't think they're going to do that. And I'm not saying that to be mean, because I'm devastated and hurt by what you did. I'm saying that to be honest, and I didn't want to say it before because I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but now I really don't care. I don't think you're going to make any money. You can try, but I don't think you will. I've seen in your comments.
I wanted you to be honest with me.
What?
I wanted you to tell me the truth. I wanted you to tell me the truth.
Yeah. Now that you have me mega annoyed with you, I'm telling you the truth in that I would not try to do anything more than sell my voice to people because they're just not going to buy it. And I've seen, and I've come to that after reading the comments because a lot of people think you're a joke.
No, not Lorne Armstrong.
No.
Is what you really believe?
I genuinely do not think people are going to buy T-shirts with your face on them and T-shirts with the saying that you have with your buddy on them. I genuinely do not believe that, and screen printing is expensive.
Do you think I should let my YouTube channel go?
No, I don't think you should let your YouTube channel go. I think it can make you money, and I think that there are people who are supporting you and who do like hearing from you. So no, I don't think you should let that go. And I also think that you should probably try to sell your voice, but as far as T-shirts and stuff, people are not that obsessed.
So my songs, try to sell them.
I think you should sell them to people. I think you should sell those to people. I don't know how, like via the voicemail or whatever. But no, I just don't think T-shirts is going to work. That's all I'm saying.
I was asking. I wanted you.
Well, I was not willing to tell you until you annoyed me. Because, see, here's the thing. Now, I still don't know what the truth is. And so, maybe I'm going to have to message her.
You know what the truth is.
What?
You know what the truth is.
How do I know what the truth is?
Because I just told you.
Now, of course, the question is raised, why would you do that? And seeing as how jealous you get when it comes to the doctor.
I don't know. I don't know why I can't give you a reason for why I did it. I don't know.
Because now you can't say shit to me about the doctor.
Well, she's not right here.
Which she was coming here, and she said she lived in Maine. You said she lived in Maine.
Doctor's spending nights over your house.
Listen. You said she lived in Maine. She said that she lived in Maine. You said, and so she is right there. How is she not right there? She lives right there.
Yeah, I've never met her. How do I know she's in Maine? The phone number was a Google number from the computer. Anybody can do that from anywhere in the world.
I have never engaged in a sexually charged discussion with the doctor. I knew the doctor before I knew you, and he hangs out with my brother. But you proclaim to be this person who would never do these things that you're saying, and you've kind of just gotten caught in another lie because you're saying, I would never do that to you, I would never do that to you, and yet you did do that.
No, I didn't. I never went to meet her.
You had a sexually charged conversation with her. And the For all I know, she could be the person who you were supposed to meet at Circle K. She is, isn't
How'd
she?
you know I was supposed to live in Circle K?
You told me that there was someone who was going to buy a guitar from you at Circle K.
That was a long time ago, and that was that guy that I showed you emails and stuff. That's him. I've never seen that girl's pussy. Have you ever seen the boss's tank?
What the fuck?
Oh you've never seen the pussy of someone who you haven't met but who you tried to meet versus the doctor having a wardrobe malfunction. Yeah, that's real comparable.
I hate the fact that he's sniffing.
Oh, it's yeah. When he sniffs her, he like hawks a loogie and all that shit. Like,
Yeah, but I think that his sniffing is supposed to remind her that he's upset.
Right. Okay.
And he's crying. Yeah, that's really annoying because there's no tears. No tears.
Oh no, not at all. Howard Stern's penis, Matt Ryan. Thanks for coming. How you doing? Yeah, it's very orchestrated. Like it's very planned. He has to make sure, like he said, he has to make sure she is reminded that he is upset, and maybe she'll go easy on him.
Exactly. That's why he started crying in the first place.
Right. No, 100%.
And I want to tell you.
The problem is that you didn't tell me.
Well, I did tell you. I didn't wait a month. I didn't even wait a week to tell you.
You did wait a week to tell me because you didn't tell me until I started guessing.
No.
There is some reason behind why you did that. As I said, you had no problem blocking Ember. You had no problem blocking the lady that you owe thousands of dollars to. But a girl who's sexually charged talking to you in the comments, you suddenly cannot block?
No, she's blocked now.
Yeah, she's blocked because you're afraid that she's going to come back and tell me something. That's the only reason she's blocked. She's not blocked because you didn't want her speaking that way to you. She's blocked because you're afraid that she has information that she's going to bring back to me.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
This person is. You send me this email, don't.
What?
What about the stuff this person in this email is told?
No. That has nothing to do.
He tried so slyly to change the subject right there. Like, what about this email?
Right. Yeah, he just like at the beginning, he does not want to talk about this. He knows that he's busted. He doesn't really have much to say. He doesn't have a leg to stand on here. And this is exactly why Lorne can't be trusted on the internet.
Oh, no.
He can't
100%.
be. All it took was Michelle Simpson to leave him a comment. And then they got started, and it's anybody who gives him any type of positive or any type of a like positive reinforcement or any type of support or maybe flirtatious, of course, is going to get his attention. But he can't. This type of situation is going to happen all the time. even with the eBay stuff when Justine called him, or was, they were talking about the Beanie Babies.
Bill Murray.
If she would have, yeah, right. If she would have allowed him to, he would have kept going with that. He would be still talking to her right now.
Right, yeah.
So
would have never stopped.
Yeah, he doesn't think, that people on the internet aren't going to have the best intentions, especially when it comes to him. He doesn't want to believe that it's going to be true 100% of the time. He wants to make sure that he isn't missing an opportunity. Because what if Michelle Simpson was there?
Right.
Then he would have missed out losing his virginity.
He's an opportunist. He's running out of time. He was nearly 50.
Yeah, of course. Of course, yeah.
I'm so happy you came over to the light side of that he's a virgin.
Right.
Oh, real quick, I don't know if you can see the stream layout if you're on YouTube or anything, but the other day I shared a picture of a pitty that was in my wife's shelter, whose name is Koala. She just recently got surrendered after a year of court battle, so she's available for adoption. So she sent me another picture, so I just like to show her off to people. So
yeah,
here she
Cute.
is. She has a butt nose, like her nose is just like split right in the middle. She's really goofy. She's very sweet. So if anybody is in the greater Pittsburgh area, she is available. So please come and adopt her. And send me pictures. All right.
I think Shin should adopt her because it'll be Shin's koala.
I didn't name her. If anybody's wondering, they didn't have names until they were officially surrendered, and then somebody just randomly named it Koala. So it wasn't my doing, Just like with Molly. That's
Aww.
weird. Both dogs, we have 2 dogs in this stream that are both named after pornography.
Right.
We're talking about. I haven't seen this email, and considering the fact that we've already caught you in a few lies,
I want to know if you're serious about
that
me.
could be.
I want to know if you're serious
Lauren, listen to me.
Hey, thanks for coming, Carrot Gaming. I hope you have a nice night.
That email is not irrelevant because, as I said, considering the fact that we've caught you in a few lies, that email could be fake and something that you made up. So, we're not going to pretend. What?
It could be, but it's not.
I mean, it could be fake for you.
It's not.
So.
Is this appropriate? Snot.
That, it could be no email and it's just something that you've made up.
right, weird versions. There is an old comment on Lorne's YouTube channel that asked him, what is your favorite anime? And Lorne says, I love dogs. So he thought that they meant animals.
Right.
We're not going to sit here and pretend that
I'll take a picture of the email.
Yeah, and Lauren, you could have gotten an email address and written a thing and sent it to yourself. I mean, so come on. Let's not pretend like that email is bigger than you having a sexually charged chat with someone who could be
would you like me to send you the whole email, then you can email this person?
And then it could be you and you email me back. Lauren, come on.
How the hell am I going to send an email to myself?
Lauren, you know that you can have more than one email address.
Oh, this is when he really acts stupid, and he's like, well, it came from this person. How could it be me? It's like, he won't, like, he doesn't understand that he could just make an email address from nobody. I mean, as you've mentioned to him before, there are hundreds of Lorne Armstrong accounts. That's not really him. I guess he doesn't get the concept.
And I don't.
But how do I know that? You've already been caught in some lies. How do I know you don't have 30 emails?
I I just told you I do have more than one email, but I don't remember what the other
You
ones
just
are.
said,
I don't
okay,
remember
you just said
what
you
passwords
don't have
are.
more than one email.
This is the only one I use because this is the only one that I remember the password to.
Lorne, let's not play games, okay?
Even the one I gave Mitchell, I had getting this one here before because I couldn't remember my password to the other ones. I had to write 3 different emails down on my monthly report before, and then I couldn't remember what the password was for like 2 of them. This one here I remember. So I just stopped using the other ones and kept using this one.
Okay, Lorne, all that sounds lovely, but there is no way for me to validate the authenticity of those emails.
My name's not Patty. So
I didn't ask what your name is. Lorne.
yeah, it's
As
a black
much as-
lady named Patty.
Lorne.
That's social media.
Are you sure her name isn't Matilda?
Right.
So is it your siblings' fault that your relationship with me is crumbling?
No. Why would you say that?
I'm asking you because, you say it's their fault for this thing and their fault for the way things are in your life. I was just asking that.
No. What do you mean my relationship with you is crumbling? Are we crumbling?
Well, Lorne, what do you call it when I've caught you in a lie, you've done something that you said that you never would do ever, ever, ever as long as you live?
I was going to say, what relationship wouldn't start to crumble if somebody attempted to cheat on the other person?
And you have had a sexually charged chat with someone who's online and tried to set up a meeting. What do you call that? How was our
I didn't go to
relationship?
meet her.
What?
I wanted to tell you about it.
Lauren, it's not about telling me. Lauren, it's not about telling me about it. It's about why you did it.
What about the stuff that this lady sent to me?
What?
You're avoiding answering anything that she's saying, that she said in that email.
Lauren, I'm not talking about this email. The reason why I'm not talking about this email...
Yeah, but I have questions for you, too, I want to know if you're serious about me.
Lauren, we have caught you...
I don't want to turn it around on me.
Lauren,
You're not going to turn it around on me.
Lauren.
That's questions that I've asked you right from the beginning.
Okay, and my answer
I've been
satisfied you.
so honest with you about everything. I've not held anything back from you. That's why I wanted to tell you about that.
Lauren, you
know that I have not held anything back from you at all.
Lauren, you held this back.
So I told you more about me than you told me about you.
Lauren, you're doing it again.
You won't even tell me your birthday.
You're doing it again. You are doing it again.
You won't even tell me your birthday.
Lauren.
Why wouldn't you tell me your birthday?
Are you going to let me finish what I was saying? I'd like to finish what I was saying and not have you talk over me. Lauren, you have done something and been caught. And you are now going to say, well, it's all excused because some lady sent me some email and said X, Y, and Z. Are you really saying that? Are you saying that what you did is excusable because of some email that some lady sent you?
No, it's not excusable.
Okay, so then why...
I like how he gives into that, but then we'll just continue to bring it up.
Yeah.
He has to agree with Ramona, but then he won't stop doing it.
No.
Talking about an email that you said some lady sent you. Why are you trying to talk about an email that you said some lady sent you when I caught you having a sexually charged conversation with someone from the internet who you could have simply blocked and been done with it?
Because what she's saying is that you're from the internet and having videos out there about me.
No, nobody said that because that's bullshit. I have no videos out there.
That's basically what she's saying. You want me to read it to you again?
No, I don't want you to read it to me again because what you're doing is you're trying to use that to deflect from what you have been caught doing. You're trying to use that to deflect.
No, I am not.
Yes, you are, because rather than talking about the issue with Michelle, you're saying, well, some lady said this in an email. That's what you're doing.
No, it is not.
That is exactly what you're doing. You do not take responsibility for the things you've done. You have never taken responsibility for the things that you do.
Yeah, I have.
When have you taken...
Nobody else can take responsibility for anything they do.
No. See, there you go again. Well, Lorne, you've never taken responsibility. Well, neither has anybody else.
Everybody tells me how I never take responsibility for things that I do.
Lord,
I take responsibility, but they never take responsibility for anything they do wrong.
Living in Maine without a job. Everybody is not under that circumstance, okay?
Even when I still haven't lost my job, so I still got a job.
Lauren, but you haven't worked in over...
I don't know if I'm moving in or not. So what? I'm a registered sex offender. You mention that all the time.
I do not
How am I going to get a job being a sex offender?
I do not mention that all the time. I mention it yes. What?
You do mention it all the time.
I do not mention that all the time. You mention my race all the time. I do not mention you being a registered sex offender all the time. I don't even mention it every week or every month. You have failed, this whole conversation, you have failed to take any responsibility for anything you have done. I tell you that I caught you having a sexually charged conversation with a Michelle Simpson. You say, well, I knew what she was doing. I caught you trying to set up an arrangement to meet her. Well, I wasn't going to meet her. I set up the appointment, but yeah, I wasn't going to meet her. I said, well, how does this make you what?
I didn't go.
I said,
I wasn't going to meet her. I didn't go.
I said, how does all of this mean that our relationship isn't crumbling? Well, some lady sent me an email and she said X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, well, because I want to know about it.
No, I want to know about what
I don't want our relationship to crumble, but I'm not going to. I don't want to believe what this lady is telling me.
You don't want to believe what a person...
Then don't, Lauren. Like...
Right.
...on the internet is telling you.
She's the one that told me that they put it... That Michelle Simpson put that on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How do we know that email's not coming from Michelle Simpson?
The call is coming from inside the house, Lorne.
Right.
Well, because I can go right back to the first one that she sent me.
Oh, really?
She sent me 1, 2, 3.
Because emails are fingerprinted, and you can tell that lady's fingerprints do not match the fingerprints of Michelle Simpson.
Huh?
Okay, I'll repeat that. Because fingerprints are because emails are fingerprints.
That's right, Honest. The Circle K was a meeting place. They weren't meeting. It was just a meeting place. They were just going to make sure they were real.
Right.
That
just gives me a headache.
That is one of the most infuriating parts of a call ever, is just him not conceding that they were going to meet. And you try to explain it so many times, and he'll agree, but then, just like we just said, he'll go, yes, it was a meeting place. There's a pause, and he adds place on at the end.
Right. Yeah, he's really about the technicality. Right. Whatever he can get away with, it's going to be based on the technicality.
Yeah, and I think you bring this up to him, but he always has to say evidently after anything negative. So he's not agreeing, he's just saying evidently. Right.
Yeah, when he's just saying, well, evidently I did really want to go there. It's no, Lauren, you just say you wanted to go there. That's it.
Yeah.
End of the story.
He has to add that in just for his own protection.
Yeah, and I think it's a way of him distancing himself as well from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, obviously, I'm looking at it from back here now. I'm watching it play out. So obviously I could tell by the facts that that person at that time wanted to do the thing. But that's not me anymore.
Never was.
Never was, no. He always cared about kids, even when he was a kid.
Even when he were a kid.
And tell that those emails don't match the fingerprints of Michelle Simpson. That's how you know?
And she said she works for some lawyer.
Lorne, but the problem here is that you are not taking any responsibility for what you've done.
I understand you're taking responsibility for it. I told you.
You didn't
I told
tell
you,
me.
Mom.
You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me until I found out, Lorne. You did not.
I didn't tell you Monday.
Lorne, don't pick and choose. Well, I didn't.
I don't think it was even Monday that you asked me because I was
Lorne.
working on my truck to Tony Monday.
Lorne, do not.
You was on the phone with me all day Monday.
Lorne, are you seriously trying to pick and choose whether or not you were being honest or not based on, well, you didn't want to tell me because you were having job issues? Are you for real? Like, are you serious?
I didn't.
Are you serious? You're
Yeah,
trying to say,
I knew what was going on.
Lorne, okay, you knew what was going on. You engaged in it, Lorne.
You was on the phone with me even when I was over with Tony and Wendy.
Okay, I didn't say I
I
wasn't.
figure out what the hell I was doing.
Lorne. If I meet a guy in a bar who wants to sleep with me and I go back to his apartment and I sleep with him and then say, oh, well, I know what he was doing, what sense does that make? Okay, if you know what he's doing, then you ignore it. Or in the case of Michelle, if you know what she's doing and you don't want to be a part of it, you push the Ember button. The button that blocked Ember, the button that blocked Betsy.
She means Betty, right?
I think maybe.
Because I don't know a Betsy. I don't even know.
No, I don't either. And I don't know if this was somebody that was around back then as far as, somebody that was commenting or somebody that Lorne mentioned was commenting. So I don't know if it was something like that, but I think she might mean Betty.
When did that come out? Because I don't ever remember Ramona talking about Betty. Do you know, like...
She did.
Oh, she did? Okay.
Yeah, she definitely did. Yeah. Yeah, because Betty was talking to... I know she did the interview with Pope Sam.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I wasn't around all the way back then, and so I haven't really heard a lot of that stuff, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, she definitely knew.
You blocked one person.
I should have blocked.
You blocked one person who was your best friend. You blocked one person who was your best friend who sent you gifts, and you blocked another person who you owe a lot of money to. But you couldn't block someone who was trying to engage in a sexually charged conversation with you. And not only did you not block her, you took it off the internet. You took her from YouTube to your phone.
I shouldn't have done it. I'm sorry.
And the problem is that every single weekend and most days, I hear some garbage about the doctor. The doctor's right there. Well, so's Michelle. So, I mean, we can't use that one anymore.
Well, he is right there.
And so's Michelle. You tried to meet her.
Huh?
You tried.
Michelle's not right here. I don't see her. I don't see Michelle. I don't know what Michelle looks like.
Okay, you didn't know what she looked like, but you still had a sexually charged conversation with her? The king of homophobes.
You didn't answer me the other day when I asked you if you were on a date with a doctor either.
You, the king of homosexual people. I mean, I'm sorry. You are the king of homophobes. You are the most homophobic.
He's homophobic. He hates homophobes.
That's right.
What an idiot.
Person I've ever met, and you had a sexually charged conversation with someone who could have been stroking his dick, pretending to be a female talking to you.
I did not have a sexually charged conversation with. She had a sexually charged conversation. I did not.
She cannot have a sexually charged conversation by herself. It would sound like
she seemed to do pretty good in the comment section.
No. She was saying sexually charged things to you, and then you took it off of the internet. See, right now you're defending against what you did. So, I mean...
Cornville threw a Tiffany saying, I loved you first. That's what you missed. But I've already gone back and removed it from the stream, so you'll never hear it.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm saying, okay, let's say that this thing with us doesn't work out, because right now it's not looking too good. Why would another woman be able to trust you, Lorne?
I don't want another woman, I want you.
I can't hear you.
I said I don't want another woman, I want you.
Okay, but
I don't want to hide things from you.
I can't hear you.
That's why I told you about this.
Lord, you did not tell me about this. Lord, you did not tell me about this.
Yes, I did. I told you about it.
How are you going to say
You might have asked me about it, but I told you.
Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. Let me give you a parallel example. That's brilliant. So that's like if I'm a kid and my report card is coming and I got all F's on my report card, and I tell my parents, Mom, Dad, my report card's coming, I got all F's. Well, you can't be mad at me, Mom, Dad, because I told you that I got all F's. Yeah, the report card was coming, so they were going to find out. Apparently, all this information is out there, so I was going to find out. And I was already asking you questions. Just because you didn't completely deny it today does not absolve you from the responsibility of your lies. So again...
That's right, Ilrig. Lorne had a sexually charged conversation with himself back in 2007 for a month.
One must wonder, why would you do it?
Wrong, I'm sorry.
And why...
he's crying again.
I was just about to say, here comes the waterworks again. In Rhoda's funeral, when he's crying, and then the guy knocks on his door, and he's like, hang on one sec. Hey, what can I help you with? Can I have a smoke? And then as soon as the door shuts, he's like, he's like back to crying, like very intensely.
I know.
Like, you can't really change from emotion that quickly, especially like being at what you consider to be your daughter's funeral.
Right, your daughter and your lover.
Right. Yes.
For Lorne. But yeah, he is all about the act. It just needs to appear as if he's really upset. That's what he wants you to feel, for you to take away from that is, wow, Lorne's really upset right now. He's crying. Look at him go.
He must
but
really
he's
care.
really not. Yeah, if you would see him doing it just like, when we saw the Blue Boy video where he almost starts to cry. It's so good. But with him in the truck and in there's plenty of other times too when he's crying, even right now, where it's not for real. He's just going to keep doing the sniffles, because even when somebody's crying, they're not sniffling for an hour.
No.
After, you know what I mean? It's, they probably have to blow their nose or whatever, and they'll just be like a little bit, but he's constantly having to give that appearance. So, and of course we're not seeing him, so he needs to make noise over the phone. And it's so funny when you hear him sobbing, because I think there's not a lot of times when people are just sobbing. I think those moments in life are probably pretty limited. You know, we can cry and that'll happen, but just flat out sobbing over things that are ridiculous. You know, your girlfriend won't pick up the phone and you think that maybe you hurt her feelings and you're going to sit there and sob and gasp and all of that. It's so over the top.
I mean, even, oh, hello, Cthulhu Hand Luke, one of the best names. Yeah, in that Blue Boy video, like, and it's also so, it's like such a orchestrated act. Like, the way he's pointing his finger and he looks around, like, you can tell, like, he's really thinking about how to act mad and sad at the same time. Like, it doesn't feel genuine. At least to me.
Mm. No, it isn't. It isn't genuine at all.
And that has to be one of the greatest Lorne lines is, he's a virgin and you fucked him. Like,
right, exactly.
Oh, man.
And because I'm really concerned, and this is what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned that one day you're going to get with another lady, with another woman, and because, like I said, this us is not looking good right now. I'm concerned that you're going to get with someone who doesn't know that you do this, and you're going to end up hurting someone. And I really don't want that to happen.
I did this, and I was wrong to do it.
Lorne, please stop calling. I cannot hear
To
you.
be honest, I said I don't do this.
But
I
you
did this, and I wanted to be honest with you. I didn't want to hold anything back from you. I wanted to make sure.
So yeah, I guess Shins has a question. What is the story behind you telling him to stop crying like a little bitch? Were you fed up? Can you talk about that? I'm not sure. I feel like you've told him that many times, but...
That is true. I probably did. I think I know which one you're talking about. Stop crying. I think it was...
Did you get attacked by a TSA dog?
No, because that wasn't Winnie. Winnie wasn't around yet. That was Casey. Stop crying. That was when I think Winnie... Oh, shit. I know. I remember Shen when he said, "Why?"
Oh, okay, that one. Yeah, I know. What he's like, why? Why should I stop fucking crying? Okay, I know which one now. Because I think that was either like a TLI or Clobber, like, soundbite.
Yeah. Was it when Winnie was assaulted?
Yes. Okay, yeah. That's what it sounds like. Yeah. Because I think that's from the Evil Old McNuggets call, you know.
Yeah.
Evil little cunnel.
Right. Yeah. How rude.
He says it like cannoli, but without like the E at the end. So it's just like cannoli.
Right. Cannoli, yeah. Yeah. I think that's what it was. I think that's when it was he started to cry. Because I can almost hear it like he's saying, because Winnie. And he just starts crying. And I just can't stand it. So I just yell at him to shut up.
Hey, Borelica, Eileen Clayman, DNA, I don't think I said hi to you. Shoo Shooey, Stacy Steelers and the Ravens, how you doing? Duplicaris.
I was honest with you about it.
But Lorne, you did do this, and I don't even know if you're being honest about the date. Because if I find it online, and I find that there was a conversation that was uploaded 2 months ago, then that's another lie. And an even bigger lie.
You're not going to find anything 2 months ago. You're not going to find anything from any other time.
Lorne, don't tell me what I'm going to find and what I'm not going to find. I mean, because I was not expecting
I know what you're going to find. You're not going to find anything that I had.
As I was saying, because I was not expecting to find that you had a sexually charged conversation with someone who you said you were disgusted by. Oh, I'm disgusted because they're using my last name. That's my last name. In reference to Michelle Simpson Armstrong.
I am disgusted about it.
Oh, well, you're not so disgusted. You're not so disgusted that you blocked her.
No, I should have. I'm sorry, I didn't. If you want to get off YouTube right now,
What do you think he means when he says, I saw her in my comment room and I knew what she was doing, so I took her off out of the comment room to talk to her? What do you think that means?
He's trying to do the same thing that predator, I think, in Georgia wanted to do by saying, "Oh, I knew what this was. I was just testing it." That's what he's doing. He's saying that he knew she was fake. He knew that he wasn't really going to meet her to have sex. He knew that she was full of shit. But he was just doing it just to fuck with her. That's what was happening. He was fucking with her so that she couldn't do the same to him. He's not stupid.
He weren't stupid.
He weren't stupid, yeah.
Hey, Cindy32.
Lauren, first of all, you're not going to shut your channel down. Second of all, I did not ask you to do that.
Why wouldn't I?
What? Lauren, see, you never... Lauren, listen to me. Why would you shut your channel down that you've made $12.68?
Because you mean more to me than...
Okay,
You mean more to me than that freaking pennies that making all that. I'm not worried about that. I don't care about that.
You would shut your channel down, but you wouldn't block someone who was talking to you sexually in the comments. I'm mind boggled by the logic.
I did that, and I'm disgusted at myself for doing that. That's why I would shut my channel down. If that's what you want me to do, I'll do it.
Lauren.
I don't care about that. I care about you.
Lauren, I did not ask you to shut your channel down. I don't think you would do it. I don't think you should do it. I don't think...
Yeah, see, now he's even trying to put that onto Ramona. He brought up trying, I'll remove my channel, and now he's, pushed it that she said it almost.
Yeah.
Do it. If you have that much
Well,
of a
don't
problem...
think that I wouldn't do it because I would do it.
Lauren, if you have that much of a problem saying no to random women online that you need to shut down an entire YouTube channel with hundreds of hours of videos on, well, I don't know if it's hundreds of hours, but you know what I mean, that you would shut down a YouTube channel instead of just blocking someone if they're talking sexually to you. What kind of logic is that?
Because I don't care about the internet. I care about you. What you feel and how you feel. That's all I care about. I did wrong and I don't want to do that to you again. And I don't want you to have to think, am I doing it again?
Well, why wouldn't I think, are you doing it again?
Again?
Right.
Can you hit us with one?
Again?
There you go, weird versions for your next song.
Because I'm still on the internet.
Lauren.
I don't want you to think just because I'm on the internet that I'm doing that. I don't care about the internet.
So you weren't having these thoughts prior to this whole thing?
No, I wasn't.
No.
I mean, this is just fascinating.
I'm not joking even a little bit. I will shut that internet right down, my YouTube channel right down. I don't care. I care about you. You just tell me the word and I'll get off it.
What does it matter what I think? I mean, I'm just someone to keep you occupied until Michelle Simpson Armstrong comes over.
No, that's what I don't want. I don't want you to be worrying about that. I don't want you thinking about it. That's why I get off the internet. I don't care.
Lorne, your self-control is that low? Like, your sense of responsibility is that non-existent? Lorne, that's...
No, it's not about... I care about what's in your mind.
Lorne, nothing would have been in my mind had you blocked her or had you not have engaged in that kind of conversation.
Surprised she didn't say sexually charged again. It's been the theme.
Yes.
But I do know that every time you got mad, you would... I do know that every time you got mad, you would throw Michelle and Katie up in my face.
That's right, Ramona. You know, once you piss Lorne off, he's just going to go get one of the other women that are ogling him at his at the grocery store and at the 10-mile yard sale.
Oh, the ones that he makes up? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When you tell him, well, go get them. And he has to, like, swerve the conversation away from it because he was just using it as an empty threat.
Right. Exactly. And it's funny because the names that he gives are just names of people that he knows of.
Mm-hmm.
So there's if you ever hear of Rebecca, that's his bankruptcy attorney.
Well,
so
I guess
he uses that name.
When a name gets in his head, I mean, that's why Derek shows up 50 times. I mean, he even writes Derek in his book. Like, I guess Tim Derek is one of those names.
Right.
Katie, whose last name begins with a Z, I don't know how you pronounce it.
I've never talked to Katie at all. Just in the comment section.
Comment room.
Well, that's amazing that there is a person who might have a vagina on your YouTube channel who you have not talked to sexually outside of...
That's most of them.
Oh, well, thank you. Most of them.
I was going to say, let me say hello and stuff like that in the comment section, and everybody can see.
I shall be so flattered that you haven't tried to solicit sex from all the women on your YouTube. You talked about kids watching your YouTube channel and how you think kids watch your YouTube channel. How do you know that any of these, Michelle Simpson Armstrong or Katie, whatever her name is?
Every time she says Michelle Simpson Armstrong, I think of Miss Andrea Howard Stern. Like like those old Howard Stern's episode where they had Miss Howard Stern, where they would have to add the name on.
Right.
How do you know that these are women of legal age?
I don't talk sexually with them. I can't start them putting you on the comment section. I don't know.
But you talk sexually with Michelle and you tried to set up an appointment with her, a meeting with her, and you don't know if this is someone who just turned 16, just got her driver's license, and knows that based on your internet presence that you have taken an interest in children before in a sexual way. I mean...
Yeah, and that's another thing I'm sure what probation was telling him is that you need to stop having these internet relationships because you also can't verify the ages of these women. So
exactly.
They could be 15 that you're talking to, and you're breaking the law again.
Yep, exactly. That's one of the things that they pointed out when he was in court. When he is talking about Winnie and all of that, it's in his court documents. But that's one of the main concerns. That goes all the way back to his crime. And what Lorne takes away from that is probation is telling me who I can be friends with and who I can't be and all of that. And that isn't the case. It's saying that you have poor judgment. And the reality is you have an internet presence. People are trying to get in touch with you and you don't know who they are. And before you know who they are, meaning you've never met them before, you haven't had any way to verify how old they are. You have no idea. And you're sending your pictures out there, and you're going to get yourself in trouble again. But he doesn't see it like that.
No. And, well, they're not underage because they're telling me they're not underage. It's like...
Exactly. Yeah. No, it could be anybody. He doesn't get it.
No.
And it is anybody.
Right.
You know, that because everyone who's spoken to him isn't the real person.
You're telling me you're not Casey Morrow?
No, I'm not.
What? You're not Deborah Reynolds?
No, I'm not.
You see what I'm saying?
Tiffany Lockhart.
I know what you're saying. But I knew I wasn't going to meet her.
But Lorne, see, the problem with that is that you set up a meeting. You might have gotten cold feet at the end, but you set up a meeting.
I didn't get cold feet. Yeah, they get cold feet at the beginning. I wasn't going to meet her. I knew I wasn't going to meet her.
But you set up a meeting.
Real quick, because that reminded me, about the codfishes. So I put his picture up right now. We were actually talking about this a few streams ago, if not the last one, about the picture that they sent Lorne of who was supposed to be Winnie in the hospital bed, and it ended up being, like a 14-year-old English girl or something from the newspaper. So because some of the dump was recovered and was sent to me the other day, this is the picture that they sent Lorne, if you haven't seen it yet, people in the chat. So this is what Lorne got and cried over, and I think he took it into probation, right? And said,
He did.
Yeah.
He did, because Winnie's wish was for him to go out there and see her.
Like, this doesn't look like any of the other pictures he's ever gotten of Winnie.
No, nothing. Well, none of them do. But of course, given the circumstances, she's obviously has a very serious injury. That's
true.
I think what was it? She wasn't in a car accident. I think it was alcohol poisoning.
You mean like Winnie? Like
No. The girl.
Oh, the actual girl.
The actual girl. Because it was from Google. There was an article.
Oh, I thought it was a car
her.
crash. I thought she was in a car crash.
It could have been. I could just have that mixed up. I couldn't remember if it was a car crash or
but she was definitely
alcohol
underage.
Related.
She was a kid.
She
right?
was.
Yeah, like a teenager.
Well, she was a teenager, yeah, but it's not something that, Lorne was interested in a kid. You can't tell by looking at them.
Right. I just find it funny that an underage person's picture was sent to him. Like, and he...
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah, no, they needed somebody in the hospital, and there you have it.
That's the crux in all of this, is that you set the meeting up.
Yeah, just people fucking around me and play games. So that's very much.
And so people, quote, fuck around on the internet. See the problem, one of the big problems with this, and would I have agreed to you doing it if you had told me? It's like, the problem with this is that you set the meeting up, you did all this stuff, you didn't tell me. Now, would I have told you, you probably shouldn't be having sexually charged conversations with women on the internet, even if you're trying to exploit them? Yeah, there's a good chance I would have said that. But the problem is that you didn't tell me. Well, that's one of the problems.
No, I'm sorry. I should have told you. I just didn't, because you were so upset about her. I didn't want to mention her name.
Corn Villain, if you email Clobber, he will send you a copy of the current dump.
I mean, so someone who your girlfriend's upset about, rather than just blocking them, you...
That's what I should have done.
What?
That's what I should have done.
You didn't even have to take her off your YouTube channel. All you had to do was ignore her. Hit ignore so that you don't see her comments. Because I've said before, and I still say that you shouldn't be blocking people from your YouTube channel. If you don't want to see what they say, if they're talking sexually to you, maybe you would want to consider just ignoring them. Just hit ignore.
Somebody sent me a message in my YouTube channel again. So you asked me to go and see it. How can they send me a picture of the pussy? I don't want you to. I said, you can't. I'm trying to go to YouTube right now. So here's
Is it done?
I'm just incensed by all this. It's just amazing.
Whoops. Nope. Sorry. I was on mute. There's about 3 minutes left.
Oh, okay. I couldn't hear anything. I was wondering what happened.
They had just stopped talking for a little bit.
Gotcha. Lorne had to gather himself.
Yeah, he had to compose himself for the next crying fit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm not perfect and I messed up.
Lauren, most of us aren't perfect, but most of us aren't soliciting sex online and doing those things. Not being perfect means you're making lunch and you accidentally spill the soup. That's not being perfect. Spilling the soup and essentially cheating on your girlfriend are two completely different things.
Oh, I didn't cheat on her.
What's your definition of cheat?
I had no intention of going to meet her.
Oh, God.
Here we go again.
I had no intentions of this. That's what everybody says to Chris.
Yeah.
You know, I shouldn't have even talked to her. In that sense, I did cheat on you, and I'm sorry. And I know what your next response is. I'll try to say this. So if you believe me, I'm not going to do that for you again. I'm never going to talk to another girl like in that manner again.
So you had to do it once to learn the lesson that you shouldn't do it anymore?
I shouldn't have even done it first time. And that's what I don't understand why I don't.
What?
I don't understand why I did it, because I didn't want to do it to begin with.
Oh, God. I didn't want to do it.
You didn't want to do it.
No, I did.
But you did it. And honestly, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter what you wanted. The fact is that you did it. I mean, that's like if I go out, if I go out and I like run over someone intentionally with my car, and I'm like, I don't know why I did it. I didn't even want to do it. That doesn't absolve me from the responsibility of murdering someone.
I know.
No, you don't, Lauren. You don't know.
So is he saying that he received that email and it messed with his head so much?
Yes.
Okay, that's where he was trying to go with all of that.
Yes.
as far as bringing it up and wanting to deflect to that. So it wasn't necessarily just a completely random thing, even though it is. You have to look at it from Lorne's perspective. He was trying to make that. Well, I got this email, and I was really upset. So
as far as Lorne excuses go, it's not. Yeah. It's pretty good on his scale of things, because it's at least tangentially, if I could fucking speak, related to like their relationship. At least it wasn't like farmer fucking didn't let me piss inside today or something like.
Right.
I promise you I'm never going to do it again.
Curb Your Enthusiasm music starts.
Lorne, I don't know if you're going to have a chance to do it with me again, because I don't know what this is going to turn into or turn out to.
Are you going to break up with me?
Why shouldn't I? I want to hear that.
And now that's all I've got to say.
Well. Okay.
Well. I love that.
Okay, so that's the end of that one. So,
okay.
If you're still going to time, the other one that we were going to do is the breakup call. If you're still good.
Is that one pretty long?
It's about 20 minutes.
Oh, it is? That's it?
So the YouTube video is like 2.5 hours, but they only talk to Lorne for about 20 minutes.
Right, okay.
So
gotcha.
It's relatively short.
Okay.
If that's cool. Okay. Let me get this.
Yeah, definitely. I was thinking it was at least an hour, if not more than that. So that's good.
Yeah, the first 20 minutes is like everybody talking, like the group of people, and then they call Lorne, and then he hangs up after like 20 minutes, because I skipped through it and they don't talk to him again. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, let's go.
Let's break up with Lorne.
Lorne?
You're not recording me with that stupid witch, are you?
Oh, Lorne, no, I'm not recording you with that. That's how you refer to women. That's real nice.
That, I don't consider that a woman. I consider that a witch. That's why she likes octopus and she likes spiders. She can tangle people up in their web.
Nothing is wrong with spiders. Now, anyway, what was with all those?
Disgusting, just like her.
Okay, what was with all those messages? Because see, these are things that you've said to me. These are things that you have called me. So now, as I was saying,
she wants to do stupid shit like that. She put my mom on the fucking internet. A 77-year-old woman that hasn't done anything to anybody.
His mom's been 77 for about 10 years. It's either 77 or 78. It's like Ramona when Lorne goes, I don't know how old she is. She's been 24 for 3 fucking years.
I love that. This is the woman that he proposed to. Doesn't know her real name. Doesn't know her last name.
Doesn't know her age.
He doesn't know Ramona's fake. Yeah. Doesn't know her age. Doesn't know where she lives. Doesn't know her job. Doesn't know really anything about her.
No.
It's pretty amazing.
Get in that fucking bathroom so I could propose to you.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? How can anybody, especially a woman, explain that?
Why is this the thing about women? When you call women bitches
just
and whores,
get him, Ramona. Just get him. Come
on. Emma's here.
Fucking right. They fit the profile.
Okay, when
you deserve it,
you called me those things.
But I guess how did you get tangled up in her little whip?
And if anybody's wondering, Lorne can't hear Emma. She's like, this is a part of the group, and she's on mute to Lorne. So, if anybody's wondering.
Right.
How did she talk you into doing this shit?
You're not going to talk to me like that.
No, you can't answer the question?
No.
I asked you before, and you said you didn't. You lied to me.
No, you're not going to talk to me like this. I am done with it.
You like what? Well, and so I should just accept what you've done and not be mad about it.
Lorne, for the last 9 months, all it has been is you drunk and texting me nasty shit. You've insulted my grandmother. You've insulted my parents. You've insulted my friends, all because they don't jive with your reality and because they take time away from you. You have been nothing but selfish.
I didn't record you, put you on the internet.
Lorne, I don't care if you record me. I have nothing to hide from what I've said to you.
Why are you trying to turn shit around?
No, I'm not trying to turn anything around.
You sure I'm going to
Tracy, would you like me to put the baby on stream?
You're not explaining anything to me.
I don't owe you anything. I don't.
Really? You don't owe me anything. At the
What the hell do I owe you?
At the 7 months of us being on the phone, 8 to 10 to 12 hours a freaking day, and what? Get you involved in this shit?
Lord, I don't owe you anything.
Yeah, you're smarter than that.
What does my intelligence level have to do with you being entitled or thinking that you're entitled to get something from some bitch cunt piece of shit whore that you've never met?
Considering I let my whole self go with you.
Lord, how many times have I told you not to love me? How many times?
Give me that bullshit. Don't give me on the fucking card with fat ass bullshit.
Okay, well, how many times have I told you that?
Well, you don't think you owe me an explanation of why you lied to me so much?
And you don't owe me an explanation of why you've lied to me so much?
I haven't lied to you so much.
Really?
So much.
Obviously, I haven't lied to you anywhere near.
So much so.
Very much so.
Especially these last 2 months.
So what was your reason to go to Dunkin' Donuts?
I explained that to you a long time ago. I was just stupid.
Well, you are, Lorne, but...
Oh, just stupid.
Do it.
How was you going back to that when you're just going around, trying to go around, explain to me about the stupid shit that you did?
Just do it.
Well, but see, here's the thing, though. I don't owe you an explanation for anything.
You think I owe you one?
Well, I don't think you owe me anything.
Well, I think you do owe me an explanation of this bullshit.
Well, I don't owe you anything.
You've been leading me on.
Explain it
Speaking
now.
along so you could gain my trust.
Yes.
Lorne, I have told
So you could record me for her.
Lorne, I have, as I was saying, and first of all, I'm not recording you. That's thing one. Thing two, I don't owe you anything. Thing three, you never let me get to thing three, so I don't have one. Yeah, as I was going to say, I don't owe you anything.
That is true.
I have told you so many times to go find somebody who's in your state.
For 7 months. You never told me that. For the last 2 months.
Are a liar. Lord, I have told you that. I even told you that before I hurt my knee. Remember back when I was so amazing?
How are you not?
Okay, real quick, just because I have it up. So Tracy Hamill sent me a picture of her newborn, who we actually had a stream for last month. So what was awesome is this is her second baby, and it was born on February 2nd, 2022.
Nice.
Just all twos. So this is baby Landon, if anybody wants to see. So I'll keep him up for a little bit on stream. I'll put him right next to Molly. There you go. Okay. Okay.
Tell me how you did this shit.
Lord, I don't owe you anything.
Oh, look how cute.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cute.
What's the far as to get my mom involved? Just to put her on the internet? You realize how disgusting that is?
Do you realize how disgusting you are? I sit there and I try and help you, right? And I try and get you to admit that you were going to go rape a child. You say, no, I wasn't going to do it. I said, Lorne, it'll make you feel better if you admit it. No, I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to do it.
You're trying to get me to admit it so you can record me for her to put on there.
Lorne, everybody knows you were going to do it. Nobody's trying to record you to get you to admit it.
Nobody knew anything. Why did you know
You
what
are
was going on?
disgusting.
Yeah, Debbie assumes it. You're assuming things. I'm not going to tell you because you're just going to assume it.
Right. That was Casey, by the way.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, you can't tell?
Oh, I thought there was one that's titled, like, Debbie Assumes It All or something. I don't know. They do sound very different. That's my fault. I didn't even know you voiced both characters when I was told that it was you.
I know. It's not obvious.
I was like, what?
You're trying to turn this shit all around the game.
Come on, Lord.
You're famous for doing that. Turn shit around.
I'm famous now.
She's famous for it.
Be famous. And you want to talk about your mom? You always like, what?
Sam Pendleton.
Okay, if you're going to talk, then I'll let you talk. Otherwise...
You answer questions.
Okay, again, if you're going to talk over me, I'll just let you talk to yourself.
I want to know how you got involved with her. How did she turn your head so you could do this shit to me?
Now, as I was going to say, you talk about, oh, well, you did this to my mom, and you did this to my mom.
Cornville Freeway to the rescue. It was titled Tiffany Assumes It All, not Debbie, so I guess you were right.
Poor 77-year-old mom who's on Social Security.
Of course, he has to show up just in time to prove me wrong. Fucking asshole.
It's the perfect time.
You don't think about that. You don't think about other things.
When I'm down, she's there. When she doesn't have money, I throw money at her.
When you're down, she's there. Well, how many times do you... What's it called?
It's called love.
Love. There's a difference between love and having to love.
I'm not going to explain that shit to you.
As I was saying, there's a difference between love.
You're throwing me for her again.
As I was saying, there's a difference between love and having to loan your 47-year-old son money because he drank all of his money.
How about this millionaire therapist that you got? Sam Pendleton.
I mean, she hits him with something pretty embarrassing. Like, your mom has to give you money, you're 47, and you just drink it all away. And you're like, yo, what about this millionaire therapist?
Right, yeah. It's like...
Oh, yeah? I'm going to tell you, Ramona. It sounds like he's being treated like trashta.
Trashta. It's fucking trashta. Yeah. Hey, tomorrow is trashta night for me, so... When I take it out, all I say is trashta.
Millionaire therapist that you got, Sam Pendleton. One with the elevator.
Okay, what about him? What about him? What about him?
Pendleton. I know that. I know he played your therapist. That's the same voice. And I was always told that it was Sam Pendleton. Emma's husband.
Okay, what about a millionaire?
Amber's husband.
Okay, what about him?
Why don't you tell me why you lied to me?
Why don't you tell me why you lied to me so many times?
To get me worked up so that you could record me for Emma to put on the internet?
Well, you get yourself worked up. You're an alcoholic. That's what you do.
Because I believe in you.
Lorne, I have told you many times.
There are a lot of Lorne buzzwords in this. We're only about 9 minutes in.
I believe in you.
Believe in you.
Not to believe in you?
It's not about believing in me. It's not you've never met me. Yes, I give you good advice. I've done that, and I've done a lot of nice...
I've never met you. That means you have to be dishonest and distrustful?
Well, you've never met me. Does that mean you have to call me a bitch, a cunt, a whore, a piece of shit when I don't answer your phone calls at 3 in the morning? Is that how you treat women? Oh, no. That's the old you. The new you...
You turn shit around. Instead of answering questions, you turn shit around. Take responsibility, Ramona. Remember you saying that?
Well, I have yet to see you do it. Remember, you tried to rape a kid because you didn't get mac and cheese.
Wow.
Oh.
Boy, I think I'm
Burn.
But I'm glad you believe in this pathetic bitch. But you believing in me has nothing to do with anything because you don't believe in me, and I don't need you to.
But I don't now. What reason do I have to believe in you now?
Lorne, I told you.
That's the biggest insult Lorne could give you, is he doesn't believe in you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freaking much.
Lorne, I told you.
You let this thing get you caught up in the web so that she could record and put me on the internet.
But
Oh, my mother. Isn't that disgusting? How could you let her do that to you?
Well, she didn't do anything to me. Lord, I called you to be nice to you. I didn't call you to get a relationship out of it. What the hell? But this is not a relationship.
You into recording me and lying to me.
Well, this is not a relationship.
Not anymore, eh?
Lord, it never was. You don't know me.
Whose side is that? Yours, not mine. You got plenty of time to come up here.
Lord, I did not want to come up. Lord, I saw what kind of.
Jesus, let her talk, Lorne.
As I was saying, I saw the kind of person you are, Lorne. I would never want to see pain. Yeah, you're a violent, angry little man. And why would I want to go hundreds of miles, strangled by a registered sex offender, when I'm sure there's someone here in my state who would do
when I get pissed, and that's it.
You what?
I get a mouth on me when I get pissed, and that's it. I'm far from violent.
Oh, okay. So so rewind. Yeah. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so you've got a mouth on you. You've got a mouth on you when you get pissed.
Yep.
That's what you said. Hey, you know
I'm
what?
not singled out on that one.
You know what? I have had a lot of real boyfriends in real life. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but I've had real boyfriends in real life, and I've made them mad because that's what happens, and none of them have ever called me a bitch, a cunt, a piece of shit, a whore, none of them. But then again, none of them had your issues. And what are your issues? Everything that you've done that you won't take responsibility for, like fucking stealing from old people.
Yeah.
Like fucking going an hour to try to have sex with someone who was underage. Everything that you've done. All these things you've done. Yeah, wow. I can't believe you did that.
Wow, I cannot believe you're throwing that shit in my face.
I'm not throwing it in your face, Lorne. These are things that you did, and these are reasons why.
Anytime I hear him talk about throwing stuff in somebody else's face is when Casey, he brings up Casey's assault by her dad, and she's like, well, I don't want to talk about it. And then she brings up how, his assault with his brothers or sexual misconduct, all that stuff. But he was okay. Like, he was like, well, that's you throwing it in a kid's face. And Casey's like, well, yeah, you're doing the same thing, but he wouldn't understand. So
it's totally different for him.
100%. So yeah, you can't talk about you can't throw it in his face, but he can throw it in your face. He was also very drunk, but that's a very frustrating call to listen to.
Yeah. No, and it's like that with everything too. You can hear him talk to Roy in the same way, in the sense that, Roy has a real alcohol problem.
Yes.
But so does Lorne. And they're just on different levels. I would say Roy's is certainly more severe, just based on the things that we've heard and we've heard about him, in the sense that he gets drunk a lot. And when he does, he's a fall down type of a guy. Mm-hmm. He's just completely inebriated. And Lorne gets drunk too. That's not to say that he's any better, but I think they're on two different levels. But the way that he talks to Roy, it's as if he has a superiority over him.
Yes, that's what's so frustrating.
Yeah, he doesn't see it as the same thing. The guy screaming at his brother for being a drunk is drunk. So, but he doesn't see it like that. And it's also just in a funny way of when Roy's talking on the phone, presumably with a catfish. Actually, it was because it was Ember. But she's talking to Roy.
Wait, I'm sorry. You mean like Lorne was talking to Emma?
No, Roy was talking to Ember.
Was that how they say the African woman? Was that also Emma?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. That was totally separate. Roy actually was getting catfished by somebody, I believe, in Africa. Probably a guy, the classic Nigerian prince type of a thing, but was pretending to be a woman. And I think that there was money exchanged and all of that. It's the stuff that you would hear about. That doesn't sound possible, you know?
Who would fall for it?
Um,
Like,
yeah, yeah. So this person was in Africa. They were totally separate. But Ember found Roy's profile on a chat site. And so she messaged him and she talked to him for a little while. That was actually the one, there was a video where Roy was on FaceTime or Skype or something like that. And he's in the bathroom and he totally takes a shit. Do you remember that?
no, I've never seen that.
You haven't? It's been out there. I don't know where it is exactly or where it can
Somebody in
be
the
found at the
chat, if
moment.
somebody could, one of my mods find it and post a link, please.
It's really funny. He's just like, I have to go to the bathroom, and she won't let him hang up the phone. But he's clearly in his mom's house because the decorating is like all flowery
Right.
and stuff like that. I think you can see the wallpaper or the shower curtain, and he just blows out the toilet. It is unbelievable. Yeah, it's really funny.
I think I've seen a picture that's titled like, "What did Roy do to the toilet?" or he destroyed the toilet. It was like a picture of just like a clogged
that was
toilet.
a different time.
Okay, wow.
That was a different time.
Roy's very good at destroying toilets.
Roy's very good. Yeah, no, that was gross too. I'm almost gagging just thinking about it. But that was the night where he passed out on the ground. Remember the ham?
Oh, I
incident?
haven't heard the ham saga yet.
You have to listen to it. Well,
I vaguely know
anyway,
about it, but I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah, so that night Roy, obviously very drunk, is home alone at Lauren's house, and he goes in the bathroom and there's big time skid marks on the toilet all inside. And so yeah, Lauren was very pissed off. He did not have a good and new moment when he walked in after being at Tony's.
No. So
everything was a mess.
So was when Emma catfished Roy on that dating or that chat profile, was she a different character? Like she was just like Mary or something? Like it wasn't Emma.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Emma. I think that her name may have been Sadie.
Oh my God.
That's ringing a bell. I'm not 100% sure though, but I think that may have been it. And it was a very short-lived thing. She was supposed to come up at some point, and then of course, believe it or not, she never did. And yeah, so Roy is talking on the phone with her, and Lorne is on the phone with me when he goes over to his mom's house. And he's walking by. I think Roy is in the garage or something, and he's saying, "Oh, Roy's talking to his catfish." And I'm like, really? It's so funny. He can't see that it's all the same. Roy's story when it comes to women and the internet and all of that is the same as Lorne's. But he can't see it that way.
Yeah, when he has that superiority over Roy. And the thing is that at least you get from the calls, Roy genuinely loves Lorne, like as a brother. Like he cares about Lorne. And Lorne would fucking throw Roy out a window if it meant that he could get laid. Like he doesn't give a shit about Roy at all. He only uses him for labor and stuff. So it is sad kind of when, Roy talks to Lorne like, I won't ever betray you and all that stuff. And I would generally believe Roy. But Lorne doesn't also have that those feelings towards his brother. But yeah, when he, they both smoke, they both drink to excess, they don't work, they basically live off their mother. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
especially when he calls the cops on Roy, that's something that he could laud over Roy. Like, oh, he got caught in a DUI, blah, 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 blah. He, at that time, Lorne, for that brief moment, wasn't, the lowest person in his family, was when Roy got arrested.
Yeah, and he loved it.
Oh, yeah.
He loved it, that he was able to tell his family that he's the one who called, and and they would congratulate him or whatever. Yeah, it's really a mess and he shouldn't be driving and all of that. But yet, I want to say that it could have been that very night Lorne did it too. And the moment you bring that up to him, you better not call the cops on me.
Oh, that the silent Rick call. It makes me want to punch a wall because he's obviously telling that story about Rick. But then as soon as you catch him, there's a silence and he goes, "I'll speed up." And it's like I couldn't believe he said that. Like, if you call the cops, I will drive faster and endanger more people if you call the cops on me.
Mm-hmm.
Was there ever, when he was on the phone with people driving drunk, was there ever a thought of calling the police on him, or there wasn't really any point?
Well, I called the cops on him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a time when he left Tony's, and it was right as he was walking out. I called the sheriff's office, and they did not go and get him.
So they just didn't even try to go and get him.
I think they got there too late.
Well, can't
so
they?
I don't know the exact distance. I know it's a little bit. So if they would have left, then they may have been able to get. I'm sure there's cops around somewhere, but they didn't get there in time.
Oh, see, I thought that they could still like investigate to be like, oh well, his car is still hot, like his engine just
he's
ran,
drunk
and he's drunk. Are you still there? You just you cut out.
Yeah, sorry, you did too. So I didn't hear your question.
You cut out a little bit. Shit, what was I gonna say? Oh, I was just saying, like they can. I thought that they could investigate and like be like, well, his engine is still hot, like his car is warm, and he's hammered drunk. Like he's the only person here. Like,
yeah,
he also isn't allowed to drink to begin with. So like,
he isn't. But there's nothing else that we can do.
Yeah.
It is very frustrating.
I didn't know you.
I mean, I said, yeah, I did. And I think that there's been other calls to them as well.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it, like other people, but I just didn't know that you guys did. I heard a call where Emma as Winnie calls because they were fighting again, like.
Oh yeah, that was
swatting.
That was not a legitimate call. That was swatting.
Okay.
Yeah, they weren't fighting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she completely made it up.
Wow, that's kind of fucked up.
It is fucked up, yeah.
Yeah. Yikes. Okay. Let's continue.
Yeah, okay.
When you throwing stuff in my face, however,
ever since you got your knee injury, somehow got hooked up with Emma. You've been throwing shit in my face.
Emma and a knee injury have nothing to do with me, have nothing to do with you. What has to do with you...
You like staying up all night long?
It's my choice. What has to do with you, Lorne?
You don't think
it's the fact...
Red there?
As I was saying, it's the fact that the therapist is not the only one that thinks you're a loser. Lorne, you've done nothing in life. What did I say to you the other day? Name one thing you've been successful at.
Therapist.
Okay, well, the guy who called you a loser, Lorne.
You Sam Pennington, the guy that you know who Sam Pennington was?
You are an asshole to the maximum. You are someone who never takes responsibility for what they do. You will always blame other people for the position that you're in.
I always blame other people for fucking Rick.
What?
I will always blame other people for recording me and putting me on the internet.
Okay, so here's the thing, though. Because I think, Dateline was the first to record you, but, yeah, they wouldn't have been recording you if you hadn't shown your dick to a 13-year-old.
There you go. Throw something in my face again.
I mean, that's always going to be the trump card.
Right.
All the time. Every single time. No matter what Lorne says, you can always throw that in his face and you're going to win.
Right. And yeah, Ugh. I wish I could say that to him one time. Just, I mean, he's heard it a bunch. I mean, it's not like he would really care, but...
Yeah. He does hear it all the time. I mean, I can only imagine the things that are sent to him. And
oh, yeah. Yeah. I never even thought, I don't know, I never would have wanted to send Lorne a letter or anything. I would, at least me, I more or less would just want to leave him alone.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me.
Okay.
Can't get away from that?
But in actuality, I've been catfishing him for 6 months, so calls are coming out.
You have? Oh, excellent. Yes. Can't wait.
But see, here's the thing, though. You can say whatever you want.
Why aren't you taking responsibility for the wrongs that you've done?
Because I haven't done it.
Really?
In this situation, I haven't.
You haven't lied to me?
Lorne, I have always told you. In fact, how many times have I told you that I loved you? Never. Not one time.
Yeah, you know why? Because you've been playing me. So you can get with Emma and record me and put me on the internet. Isn't that smart? What did you two really get out of that?
Lorne, what did I get out
a lot?
of that?
Thousands of people get a lot out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 110 people here right now that are getting a lot out of it.
As I was saying, okay, well, I can turn it back on you. What kind of thrill is it to call no good shit? What kind of thrill is it?
What?
I said, what kind of thrill is it to call women no good pieces of shit? What kind of thrill is it to send your dick pic to any woman who will talk to you? What kind of thrill is that?
That's just me being stupid.
So see, you can just explain anything that you do away by saying, oh, I was stupid. I'm not now, but I was stupid.
Yeah, what do you want me to say? That it was smart? Obviously it wasn't.
But yet you did it.
Yeah,
and
you're sent to Emma.
Do it. Well, there's nothing to do with it. But like I said, you did it, and then you did it again, and then you continue to do it.
How long have you been sending stuff to Emma about me?
Don't ask me questions. I'm asking the questions.
Yeah, I'm asking the questions too.
Because
I'm asking the only one that has the right to ask the questions.
Oh, so I don't have the right to ask the questions?
You get the right to. Doesn't mean it is right.
Oh, so it's not, okay.
When you're the one that's been playing me for 9 months.
Well, you've been abusing me for 9 months.
I haven't been abusing you for 9 months.
Oh, okay, so...
It's only been 8.5 months.
So what do we call every single weekend? Like,
you don't call what you've been doing abusing me?
As I was saying, every single weekend, like clockwork.
Because I come up with that, it's all done anyway. Because you would be abusing me more than I've been abusing you.
Lord, all you expect me to sit on the phone with you all goddamn day. I've told you many times, well, get a life, get hobbies, get a job, do things outside of harass me all day.
Really?
Yeah, Lord, I've told you that many times.
Really?
Oh, God.
Fucking really.
It's amazing.
Why would you think that someone half your age is going to put up with this for longer than I have, but whatever. Why do you think that somebody who's half your age is going to want to deal with this bullshit when there are guys who don't act like this, Lorne? And that's the thing I don't think you understand.
Because I thought you really felt something for me, and you wanted to see me through it.
Lorne, why should some woman in her...
You're the one that said you were going to stick with me.
Wait. Why should some woman in her 20s see you through your issues and she's not getting...
I did not contact you. You contacted me.
I
keep saying some woman in her 20s.
Okay, as I
contacted you.
I texted you, and then you insisted that I call you, but that wasn't good enough. You wanted to talk to me every single day. I did not want that.
Oh, you didn't? So why'd you keep calling me?
Well, you called me.
Oh, you never called me?
Yes, Lorne, I have called you before. But 9 times out of 10,
kind of a two-way street, Tim.
as I was saying, truly, 9 times out of 10, you would call me.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Truly, 9 times out of 10, you would call me.
Man, amazing how you've done nothing wrong, huh?
Well, what I did wrong was spend hours on the phone with you that I should have been doing other things, I'm sure. I'm sure I could have found better things to do.
And you don't think that recording me and giving it to Emma, so she could put it on the internet, you don't think that was wrong?
I didn't record you now.
Oh, so you just had Emma on the phone so she could record me all the time.
This was 3 fucking years ago, and he hasn't learned. Like, he's still... He was catfished, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Like, 5 times after this in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody asked in the chat if he's still being catfished. Probably. I mean, I know that the Jamie, Amy, and the throuple with Jamie, Amy, and Casey for the 3rd time, that has ended.
Yeah.
But I would not be shocked if he has gotten a new catfish. Because one, he can't be alone. And also, I'm sure there's multiple people that would want to try and do it. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As I was saying, and I doubt that she has that kind of time.
Well, she must have had it when you were talking to my mom, telling her all that and things that I had said.
Yeah. Imagine that you thought that your mom was going to come on and say...
How did that happen, Ramona?
As I was going to say, you thought that your mom was going to come on and say, "Oh, my son is amazing.
You got to turn it around again instead of taking the responsibility."
As I was saying, "Oh, my son is amazing. He just wants to. He's just misunderstood." That's probably what you thought she was going to say. And I was going to say, "Oh, well, Lorne, since your mom says that you're amazing, I'm catching the next flight to Maine. Here I come."
Turn around again so you don't answer the question.
But after this conversation, Lorne, you never have to worry about me calling you ever again.
I know. The only way you're going to be real to me is if you can actually come up here. I can't do anything about it. I told you that. I was being honest with you when I told you. And
it weren't his fault he can't go anywhere. It's probation's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not coming up to this.
Of course not. You're getting all the information you want so you can give it to Emma to put it on the internet.
Yeah, because my whole life revolves around Emma posting videos on YouTube.
It has to last 2 months.
Whatsoever.
It has to last 2 months. Evidently it has before that. Somehow some other shit about that was supposed to be only between me and you wound up on the internet. How's the answer for this happening? Is it magically winding up in Emma's hands?
I don't know. I don't care. But I don't want...
Your phone got hacked. Sure it did.
Well, Lorne, here's the thing.
You can't take responsibility for the lies that you told me.
Here's the thing. You're going to keep talking over me, so go ahead. You're going to keep talking over me, so go ahead. Here, talk to yourself.
My law, you don't take responsibility for anything. Anything you've done wrong, you certainly don't want to take responsibility for it. I haven't heard you do it once. I'm done listening to myself talk. Go ahead if you want to.
Oh, thank you for giving me permission to talk.
I'm not giving you permission. I say if you want to. What was yours?
Oh, yeah, thank you. That's real kind of you. I don't need your permission to talk. But see, here's the thing, though. You keep finding yourself in situations because you want to blame me for this and that and whatever.
Any of you guys who are talking shit or who don't like this, fuck off. Fuck off. We don't want you here. Go play around. Go comfort your pedophiles, okay? Fuck you. Say some shit to me in this chat and take a fucking walk right afterwards. I will pause this shit and I will shut it down. So fuck you guys. You don't like it? You can kiss my asshole.
Using me, I'm like, oh my god, is this guy out of his fucking mind?
If anybody...
Yeah, I think there were people talking shit in there.
Oh, I would assume so, yeah. If anybody... I put the link in the description. Emma has a play-by-play up in the corner of herself talking, so she's... If you want to get threatened by Emma and watch her do it, skip to about 42 minutes.
Fine.
Yeah, there's about 15-ish minutes left. Are you still good for time, Tiffany?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Why would you think somebody would want to be with that? That is insane. And then you tried to tell me, well, can you just love me? You should try to love me. Why the hell would I love someone who has insulted my nana, who has insulted my family, who has insulted me numerous times? Why would I want to be with that?
Why would I want to be with somebody that's recording me and giving it to Emma? Or allowing Emma to record it? But lying to me for the last 2 months about don't know who Sam Pendleton is, like Eric does. And God knows how many other lies you told me in the last 2 months. Why would I want to be with that? Well, you don't take responsibility for it, and you constantly tell me I need to take responsibility for my actions. How did Emma ever wind up getting me to do stupid shit like this?
Well, Emma has never gotten me to do anything. I don't do anything I don't want to do.
So you wanted to record me to put me on the internet. You wanted to record my mom to put my mom on the internet.
Lauren, one good thing I have done is I've exposed you. That way, women in Maine, when you approach them, they'll know what they're getting themselves into. Because on the outside, I mean, if a woman doesn't have on her glasses, she might think you're cute. And if you talk to her and you tell her about, oh, well, I was sidelined. Dateline is so mean, and, and they did this and that to me, and mac and cheese, and meatballs, and big balls, and blue balls, and Santa Claus, and deviled eggs, and Easter egg hunts, and dinner cuts. If you tell them that kind of stuff, they'll believe you, because you're very manipulative. Okay? So if she doesn't have her glasses on,
manipulative.
Cute. If you tell her those things, you can manipulate her, tell her about how Nikki stole from you, et cetera, et cetera. But any woman who hears you call me a bitch, a cunt, a piece of shit, a whore, and no good trash, and still has anything to do with you, she gets what the hell she deserves.
And you don't think that somehow they can connect you with Emma?
What does me and Emma have to do with that?
People on the internet already know. They know all about you being hooked up with Emma.
Boy,
They know you had connections with Emma. That is not the worst person on the internet to ever have connections with. I think you ever let her talk you into doing stupid shit.
Well, nobody talks me into doing anything. Remember how you tried to talk me into going to the bathroom on Christmas Eve?
Wait, what?
You proposed to me while I sit and look at the toilet. Remember that? Remember all the times I was hanging out with my friends? I tried to walk away from them. To talk to you because you think you're more important than everybody. Remember all the times when you tried to get me to call you.
Remember all the times that I thought our conversations were between me and you, not me and you and the rest of the world.
As I was saying, Lauren, when you start calling women bitches and cunts and sluts, you better be damn proud of what you're saying, Because it has every right to end up on the internet, so no other woman deals with you.
But you know what the sad thing is you actually got me out of doing that.
Well, it's not my job to get you out of doing that.
Oh, you helped me out no matter. I'm not going to say you did, but you did. Except for Emma.
It is not my job.
I call her a bitch to the end until the day I die.
I'm sure you will, because that's how you think of women. And I'm sure there's other women. No, but there's other women who you're like that too.
You mean like Nikki? Yep. Anybody that's heartless is that, and cold.
And I guess heartless is what?
They get what they deserve when they want to act like stupid dumbasses.
But what do you deserve? What do you deserve to be called? What do you deserve to be called?
Sometimes I deserve to be called an asshole. Sometimes I deserve to be called a piece of shit. It all depends on the way I act. If I act like a piece of shit, then I deserve to be called a piece of shit. If I act like an asshole, I deserve to be called an asshole. I can handle it.
See, it's not about...
Bitch, then they can deserve to be called a bitch.
And Lord, that is why you will never have a girl who truly loves you, because that is who you are. You are somebody who says that kind of stuff about women. You're somebody who doesn't respect women. You don't respect yourself, much less women. You drive drunk.
I don't respect people that screw me over. I have no respect for people that constantly want to screw people over.
And what about people?
I know what you're going to say.
What?
I know I'm going to screw her over, and I do plan to pay her back as soon as I can.
Wrong.
You never wanted to...
Do you think, because I'm sure... Sorry, Cornful, I was just filling up my drink again. Do you think Lorne can, like, because I'm sure somebody has told him that this community has paid back, not on his behalf, but has paid back Betty $30,000.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, to me, I'm sure once he heard that, he thinks that he's now paid in full. Like, I'm sure he thinks we did it for him. And I hope he doesn't. But I feel like...
No, I don't think he's thinking... You mean as a benefit to him?
Well, what I mean is, like, if somebody were to then throw that in his face again, as Lorne would say, he would say, well,
right.
She got her money.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, first of all, he's never planned on paying him back ever, or paying her back ever. That was never in the cards. He was never going to do it. He did it simply because he was pushed into doing it, because he believed that somebody was going to think that he was a good person if he did.
Right.
And he was, it's not as if he just owed her $1,000. He had a huge chunk of money that he owed her, and he didn't even make a dent. So he's going to look for any reason, just like when he says she's out there running her mouth and talking shit on the internet about me, she can consider herself paid in full, or she got enough entertainment out of me by all this stuff that's out there, so she's considered to be paid in full. That is the type of stuff that Lorne is going to go through. So yes, of course, he does not think that he needs to pay her back, but he wasn't going to anyway.
But that's just how he justifies it in his head now.
He's going to justify it, sure. He's going to justify it to everybody, but it's not true.
What?
You don't even need to go there, because I already know what you were going to say.
No, but first of all, I wasn't even going to say that. But yeah, okay, let's talk about the lady who you owe more money than you probably make in the next 5 years.
Oh, thanks for that vote of confidence there.
Okay, how long ago did you steal the money, and how much have you paid? Oh God, a whopping $120. Well, she should be down on her knees and sucking your dick for that $120 that you paid her out of $30,000, because you were doing so well. If that was some kind of loan, that $30,000 would now be what, $20 million?
That's you just clever. That's just a clever one.
What am I, a clever bitch? Say it. Say what you want to say. Say everything you want to say. Say it. Say what you want to say.
Turn shit around again. Always turn shit around on me. Yeah, and you can't take responsibility for your own actions.
Always turning shit around on you. So when I would wake up in the morning with, I don't know, 300 text messages, 20 voicemails, 50 calls. I mean, those are literally things that you've done to me. And then I would say, Lorne, why'd you do this? Oh, I was drunk. Get over it. That would be your response.
When you weren't drunk, you had him on the phone recording this. And my mom. When you was not drunk, you was stone cold sober.
Oh, okay.
Wow. That is far worse than anything I have ever done to you drunk.
Oh, okay. So because something happens to you, something's worse. I see how it is.
To me.
So you
a 77-year-old woman that's never done anything to anybody.
Well, she birthed you, Lorne. She did a lot to people.
Then stop to think about
Yeah.
that, huh?
Oh, and about
As Winnie said, she strew her crotch goblins out onto the world.
Well, that is true. Yes, that's exactly what she did. But he tries to treat her like an angel. But of course, in this, for Ramona, no, she didn't do anything to her. She never did anything to anybody.
No,
As far as we're concerned.
of course not.
Her fucking brain that
you care
think
so
about a 77-year-old woman that's never done anything.
77-year-old
about
woman?
this 77-year-old woman that you wouldn't return her call. You care her car. You care so much. Her car. Car. How about that? Car.
That is my car, you know.
No, it's your car. You're not going anywhere.
I did not say that.
You can't. Yes, you
You're obviously putting words in my mouth.
Okay, as I was saying, you care so much about this 77-year-old fucking woman that you call her a 77-year-old fucking woman.
I did not in terms you're saying.
Okay, you said a 77-year-old fucking woman.
I said it to you.
Oh, okay, so you can say whatever you want about something to me.
I keep trying off I turn this around on me again. Don't imagine that one.
Well, I'm not trying to turn anything around on you. I'm just trying to get you to realize what a shitty person you are, and why do you expect so much more than what you give?
I'm a shitty person.
Yes.
You, the one person that I believe in, turn around and record me for Emma to put on the internet, and turn around and record my mom to get to Emma to put on the internet.
You are a shitty person.
But I'm a shitty person.
You are a shitty person because
I'm a shitty person.
If you'd let me speak. Go ahead. Say what you want.
I don't need to say anymore. I already said it.
As I was going to say, you are a shitty person because you have tried to fuck over every demographic. You owe senior citizens money. You tried to fuck a kid. You put your dog on a treadmill. You called a Latina lady a pinche puta, whatever. You said that I sound too intelligent to be black. You didn't say those exact words.
Wait a minute. What? He said that?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I've ever heard that.
She sounds too intelligent to be black. Sounds like Lorne logic to me.
I didn't know you were black. I would never guess that. Yes, you did. When I told you I was black, you were shocked.
Now you're putting words in my mouth. I said you don't sound like any black woman that I've ever heard. I said you sound more like a white woman.
Okay, I sound like
well, he kind of just admitted it.
A white woman is racist code for you sound black.
Anything racist about it? It's just the way people talk. There's nothing racist about it.
Lorne.
Well, I cannot believe you're trying to put words in my mouth. Isn't that amazing?
If I was racist, do you really think I'd fall in love with the image of a black woman?
Yeah,
What?
because you want to put your dick in a racist black woman.
There's nothing racist about me. Literally nothing.
Well, guess what? I did hear from, oh, dear Emma, that you got cut off from the road by a black guy and you called him the N-word.
Oh, you heard that, huh?
I know in the Lorne and Roy fight call, I think he drops the N-word like 12 times.
He did, yeah. That's what he was referring to with Roy and his catfish.
Right.
He was referring to that person.
Right. Yeah. Just before they actually really started a fight, but yeah, he's screaming it too. Like
He was.
It's like it's over 10 times. I tried to count once, but it's kind of hard to hear. But it's definitely over 10 times in about a 3-minute span. Like he just keeps dropping it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
I'm glad you heard that because I never heard it. Of course you heard it from Emma.
It did
She
happen.
don't lie about anything, does she?
Lauren, why would you have
I'm so honest.
Lauren, why would she have
You remember why?
about that?
Why? Did you think about that?
If she were lying about that, I'm sure she would have thought of something better.
Good. It couldn't happen to be that because you're black, Emma wants to make me look negative to you.
Lauren, you make yourself look negative to me more than anybody else possibly ever could have in the world, in the entire universe, on the planet.
What you've done?
That is true. Lorne does all that work himself.
Yes, he's his biggest hype man.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care how I look to you. I really don't.
That's obvious. You've shown that in the last 2 months.
Well, good.
How doesn't she ever talk you into doing this stuff?
Lauren, she doesn't have to talk me into doing anything.
You want us to do this stuff?
Lauren, I see the type of person that you are. You have not...
don't see the type of person that I am because you're not here to see me.
Lauren, you are not...
You are not here to spend time with me in person.
Lauren, I don't need to be in person with you to see that you're a crappy human being. You are abusive in every way. You just thought that you...
That's
I know, you're floored. You're floored. You just thought that I was too dumb to see it because of my age.
No. You are so far from the truth, it's unbelievable. You believe what you want to believe. You got N on the brain. Hand it on the brain. I don't know how the hell she ever...
You got to get Lorne on the brain.
Like this, Bob. I mean, it sucks the hell out of me. Never ever for a minute thought that you would do something like this for her.
Well, I'm not doing this for her.
Especially after you already knew what all the stupid shit she had already done.
Hopefully, as I was saying, hopefully women in Maine are aware of you. Because I really would not want a woman in Maine to have, let's say, a guy coworker who she has to constantly hear horse things about.
To be with somebody that just wants an honest woman, huh?
Well, but you're not giving honesty. You're not giving shit. You don't have shit to offer anybody.
Shout out to Honest.
Oh, you beat me to it. I was just about to say it.
Women are not stupid.
Oh, let me see. I'm not your fake doctor that has so-called millions of dollars, or this fake therapist that has so-called millions of dollars.
But Lorne, if you were a country music singer, you'd make his bank account look like shit.
Yeah, or if he got the right jobs.
Yeah, that pays about $18 to $20 an hour.
Mm-hmm. He could work. He could make more if he wanted to.
He could. Yeah, he could.
Yeah.
Or your fake fucking internet Ramona girlfriend, Lauren. That's all I'm saying. What the hell, Lauren?
Here we go.
How long does it take you to figure this shit out? Yes, I have a boyfriend. I've had one for years, and it's not you.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I finally got the truth out of you.
Oh, I hate, like, he always has to say it's just like we talked about earlier. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I finally got the truth out of you. It's like, no, you didn't.
Him to death. And you know what? I'm going to marry someone who's not a registered sex offender.
Ooh.
I'm going to be with someone who doesn't try to fuck children.
Are you?
And you know what? And you know what? And you know what? And you know what? No, on Christmas, I was not with my mother and grandmother. That wasn't the year for us to go to my parents' house. We went to his fucking parents' house. And while we're at his fucking parents' house, you're like, hey, I went to Lucy's bathroom. And I'm like, oh, God, if your mother sees this, I don't want her to see my phone. And guess what? I'm not 24. I'm not 25.
I'm in my 20s.
I'm in my 20s, but guess what? You'll never know where.
Same, Ramona.
But guess what? I'm older than 25. But I figured if I was going to be friends with a registered sex offender, I'd have to make it as low as I want. Oh, and guess what? The doctor, the neighbor's cousin, all of that, they never existed. Oh, and finally, you want the...
Wait, did he say I know that?
Yeah.
They were very real, Lauren, when you were yelling about them.
biggest shock? My name's not Ramona.
It's Tracy.
Ramona Quimby. No, it's not even Tracy. Ramona Quimby is a girl from books that I used to read when I was a kid. And guess what? Your fake girlfriend is even a child, you kitty fucker.
Is it worth it? Are you fucking... You call me a kitty fucker. This is why you hooked up with Emma. You've been with Emma ever since fucking day one.
Ron, I've been with Emma ever since day negative 35. I've known her for I don't know how long, watching these videos of you trying to rape a kid. But the point was never for you to fall in love with me. I tried to tell you not to. I tried to tell you many times I don't want to be with you. But you just had to have Ramona Quimby and her 8-year-old tight pussy.
Oh, Jesus.
I didn't even know who Ramona Quimby was.
Jesus.
This is just... Yeah, I would rather have had you as an honest friend.
Lord, I tried to be that. You tried.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
Lord,
You wasn't honest from day one.
Lord, I tried to be your friend.
You told me your name was Ramona from day one.
Lord,
you didn't tell me you had a boyfriend.
You are a horrible person. I tried to be your friend.
You are a horrible person. You're the one that's...
I might be a horrible person. I might be a horrible person, but I didn't steal from the elderly, and I don't have registered sex offender trying to rape a kid on my back.
You really think that I was stole from it? I never meant to do anything that happened with that.
You never meant to do it, but you still did it. You still brought condoms. You still giggled like a little 13-year-old. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sitting there, you can bring condoms. Dude, I brought condoms.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that you do this stuff.
It's unbelievable that...
I love how he just has nothing to say. Like, because he just has to keep saying unbelievable and laughing. Because there's nothing you can say to counter that. Because it's all true.
No.
You would have hooked up with Emma to fucking do any of this shit.
Well, I didn't try to do anything.
And especially to my mother. Why would you do that to my mother?
I feel bad for her. So don't bring her in.
Why didn't you think about that before you put a goddamn voice on the internet?
I feel bad for her because she had
disgusting.
That's what I feel bad for.
That is so fucking disgusting. It's unbelievable. And you know what? That Michelle, her name isn't Michelle, but I'm not going to tell you what her real name is.
I don't care what her real name is.
She's an elderly lady that's married. That's in there.
Is she?
Is she? I assume that maybe Emma told him this, like the character Emma, that she found out who she was. Or is
it's possible.
I was going to say, or unless Lauren's just making it up, which I don't think he has the willpower to do so. At least that, yeah.
Boy, if they put your mother's voice on the internet, that's when I get so upset I had to write to you to let you know what was going on.
Lauren, I have been telling you for months, nobody from the internet wants anything to do with you. You even tried to say, well, if you don't do this, then I'll date Katie or so-and-so from the internet. I'll date this person from the internet. So Lauren,
you even tried to get me to do more on the internet. Where the hell was Emma? Oh, they want to hear from you. They want to hear from you.
Or you seem to like doing
You're
things.
kidding me. Shit. You're just as disgusting as Emma.
I'm sure I am.
Is that it? Did he hang up? Was that it? Fuck you, Lorne.
Okay, so that was the end of that one.
You know what? This should have been when we never heard from Lorne again.
I was just about to say,
this should have been it.
I can't believe he still talks to Ramona after this. Like,
Yeah.
as far what I remember, at least the furthest out that I remember him talking to Ramona was like May or June of this year, because this happened in January of 18. No, 19. Excuse me.
No.
No, when did this happen?
I believe that it was somewhere around September of 2016. No, 17, sorry. So September 2017.
Okay.
Because it took a few months for Lorne to call her back. Then you have the post breakup calls that happened in January, February of 18.
Okay, that's why I got confused, because there's a bunch of calls from like January of 18, and I thought that's where they talk about the breakup. Okay, so this would have been a few months prior. But I know he talks to Ramona with Casey like in May of that year too.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Wow, thank you.
May of 2018?
Yeah, 18.
Yes. Yeah, there was a Ramona Casey crossover. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so apparently he was talking to her more during that time. There were some calls Ramona had with him. Yeah, he's got to keep that open in case. But it's interesting to hear that call again after this time, and of course, especially think back to those post breakup calls, because the main theme that goes through those post breakup calls, and then also through this breakup one, is how did Emma get you to do this? Why would you allow her to get you to do this? So it's as if Ramona wasn't going to. She wouldn't have done it if Emma wasn't involved.
Right.
And none of this stuff would have gone on the internet and all of that. So it's pretty interesting, because I think those are the types of things that bump around in his head, so that he can then get to the other side and be like, well, Ramona actually did care about me, because she would talk to me for 10 hours every single day. And in order for somebody to do that, they would have to care. But because Emma was involved, it turned into something where I'm going on the internet and I'm being made a fool of. But if Emma's not around, if I'm not talking to Emma and she's not talking to Emma, then we can actually be together. We can actually get started. Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Like,
I mean,
just like you said, we should have never ever heard from Lorne again. Never ever.
No.
It should have been the end of it. We should all be. This would be the last call that we'd all talk about and be like, oh well, this was the last. This was the breakup. This was when it ended.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this was just catfish number one of this whole.
Yeah, one and done.
Yeah.
It is what it should have been. If Lorne wanted to keep his best interest in mind, if he actually wanted to listen to everybody. And I think that when he was talking to Allie about this, because Ramona wasn't a secret.
No.
He was talking to Allie. His class knew about it. Probation knew about her. And, the thing is that no matter what they would say, I think they were trying to present things to him like, you don't know her last name. You don't know how old she is. You don't know really anything about her. And so when he talks about having the new skill of being able to pick up on red flags, I think that they're trying to point these out. Like, Lorne, something's wrong here. You don't know anything about this person, and you don't know what's going on or what her intentions are, what's really happening with the information that you're sharing with her. So it's really crazy that all after this, then there's more calls. I mean, I was completely floored. I really thought this had to be it.
Well, you were here live, right? You listened to this live stream.
Yeah, I remember the live stream itself. Yeah. I do remember. And I was like, okay, well this has to be it because now he knows that she's lied to him this whole entire time. And of course, I didn't pick up on the fact that he keeps saying, "How did she get you to do this?" and all that kind of stuff. I didn't think of that as part of his logic of why Ramona is innocent here. That she was a weapon that was used to get at him, but if Ember wasn't around, they would have this great relationship.
Even
I mean,
she called him a kid fucker like 8 times, and that she
right.
didn't love him, had a boyfriend.
Right, everything about her was completely fake. How is that something that anybody could move on from? And the thing is, in the argument that Lorne was having for this particular call, he was right. He was right here. All the things that she was coming back at him with, how could you treat women this way? You call me a bitch and all that kind of stuff. None of that mattered. The question was, why did you take my calls and put them on the internet? That's it. And of course she's not going to answer because that's not the name of the game, right? You gotta work it a little bit. But that's what it comes down to is it's not, and also on her side too, it's not because he calls her a bitch. It's not because he gets drunk and gets abusive and stuff. The bottom line is he's a registered sex offender. That's why. But he never gets that answer, of course, because again, that's not what happens. But for, from his perspective, he was right. He was right. He had every right to be upset to find out that phone calls are put out there, that his mom's phone calls are put out there. Who wouldn't be upset by that?
No. And ADD, she's a night sister from Dathomir. You are correct. Yeah, I couldn't believe, because Cornfield's talked about this before, where I wasn't a part of the community back then, and so it's interesting to see, because I like the Jamie Amy calls and what's coming out now is kind of how I'm sure a lot of people felt back then, is that for a time everything was done, it was over, and then all of a sudden to be like, oh, there's a ton more calls that are being released. So it is just crazy because like. I showed up probably around the time he went to prison the second time, or jail, I should say, because it was less than a year. And then it was like, well, he's in jail, everything's done. And then the pandemic started, and Raptor Bacon would put out calls that clearly happened after he got out of prison. And then Reborn with the Jamie Amy calls and stuff. So, I mean, in my opinion, he will just continue to be catfished until he dies. Like, if somebody's there, he'll take it. So we probably will never, ever run out of content.
Yeah, I don't think so. Unless he's forced to not talk to anybody. And that would be if he goes to prison, something like that.
He, he basically... what I was saying, because we listened to a few prison calls a few streams ago. Kind of the only person I feel bad for is his mom, because he makes her give him money. And so, like, she'll give him $40, which I'm sure she needs for food or bills or whatever. And he wastes it, like, all in one day talking to his catfish. So if he does go back to prison and he has no means in which to contact, like, nobody will give him money, then, yeah, we won't ever get those calls. But, yeah, if he has the means to, if he has a phone, if he's not in prison... all that stuff, he will continue to be catfished. And speaking of which, if Lorne's probation officer is here today, want to give a shout out to probation. How you doing? Because apparently they're watching streams.
Oh, okay.
So I hope you guys are good if you made it this far. But
yeah, I mean, as far as obviously, I don't know what they see or anything. I know that they're aware of Clabber's channel, and I know that they're aware.
Clabber won't get my name out of his mouth when he's streaming. So.
Oh, okay. Well.
He sent him over.
Maybe you're famous.
Yep.
Right.
Famous with probation now.
Right. Yeah. No, they have plenty to work with. That's for sure.
Yeah. There will never be, as far as for probation, never be a drought of things to put Lorne in prison for. Or at least violate his probation.
Yeah, he has gotten in trouble for things that they find. That's for sure. That's definitely for sure. He's definitely... I'm trying to remember specifically what it was, but there was a call. I want to say it was maybe Ramona. It must have been a Ramona call. And he was confronted with it. I can't remember who he was talking to, but he was confronted with it. I think it may have been Ramona, actually.
I'm not sure.
Either that or Winnie. But was confronted with, is that you? Because they had this call where he sounded like he was drunk. And they said, is that you? And he said, yes. But then I believe he started to talk about how it could have been manufactured and edited,
it's always stitched
to
together.
Make him sound like that. Yeah, exactly.
They slowed my voice down so I sounded drunk.
Yeah, or it's completely edited. He said they did that to Obama.
Voice changer, right. Oh, yeah, because I'm sure... Because he watches the news. I'm sure he would have seen, because I know there was a news, article when somebody deep-faked Obama, when that, really started to, become popular. So I'm sure he saw that, yeah.
Yeah, he watches the news. He watches all that kind of stuff, you know, because
Little
he doesn't
House on the Prairie. That volume's turned all the way up.
Yeah. Three's Company was one that he really loved because he had the DVDs for it. So he didn't have cable. So he just would play those over and over, and he wasn't really watching it anyway. He just needed the company.
Right. He just needs there not to be silence, which, hey, I get. I always have my headphone in and something's playing on my iPad. But,
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's scary to be with your own thoughts, I guess.
It can be. It can be. Yeah. So I'm sure 5 years from now, there's going to be another catfish. Her name's going to be Carmen or something,
Hey, it could be Casey the Fourth. You never know.
I mean, we can never say never at this point. No, that's probably the biggest thing that I would say to everybody is never say never, because as soon as you think it's over, it isn't.
No.
Something happens.
It'll be quiet for about 6 months, and then just like this, Blue Boy will just start releasing videos of Lorne, and it's like, ooh, the intrigue.
Yeah, and you'd be like, "What? What is this?" Yeah. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. You can't use your actual real world logic to apply to Lorne or how things are going to turn out or the way things should go, because usually they don't go that way.
No, not for Lorne. Not with Lorne, I should say.
Yeah.
Lorne
yeah,
logic.
definitely. Right.
Well, if there isn't anything else, I really appreciate you coming and streaming with me today.
Of course.
This was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. You're welcome back anytime. You have a standing invitation. You're the first person much. I've offered that to.
Wow.
Yeah, Cornville doesn't get it.
No, and he shouldn't.
He shouldn't. He's very unprofessional.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun.
Well, thank you. And I hope everybody has a nice night. And I'll hopefully be streaming the next couple of days. All right. Goodbye.